Oh, yeah. We're live. Hey, welcome to RDX Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining us as we have a ton of great topics today. As always, I always say it. I make fun of myself all the time. If you're here already, guys, hit the like button, share it out on Twitter, help us out a little bit. Let me hit that button a little quicker this time. I remembered. And Fonz really ain't here this week. I don't know why, but he had another vasectomy. And we might have a guest or two pop in. Again, no promises there. But either way, we do have... this is actually a really, really, really good week for topics and a lot of current event stuff going on. I thought about asking Optimus if he might want to jump on too, because that could be really fun. And we happen to have one slot open. So again, great topics this week, great panel. What of us actually showed up? And of course, guys, again, thanks for doing what you do. We're gonna do some introductions. We'll do some shout outs. We'll get into all of the action. This is Doom Eternal running on Xbox Series X, Xbox One X, and you're not seeing it at full fidelity. It's 1080p stream, you know the story. But man, that 60 FPS. If only certain companies knew how to stream at 60 FPS on YouTube. Hey, Colt Eastwood, how you been, buddy? Welcome back to the show.
Good. I was like, don't call me first. Don't call me first. Don't call me first. You always do. Really good. I'm glad to be here and glad to talk stuff. There's a whole bunch of topics, so thank you for having me on.
Oh yeah, of course. Shout out to Black Eyed Dog, by the way. It was super chat, and of course we got another channel member, which Google said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna hold that, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop that." Shout out to Ashtray Tempest Sun. Tempest Sun, yeah, what's going on, buddy? We also got a giveaway winner from Patreon tonight. For some reason, there's only like 4 comments, so you guys got to be sure and check that. Usually, there's a lot more. So if you want to win some free shit, some games of your choice, then Patreon's the way to do it. Darge Knight, you motherfucker. He says, crumpets are a gift from God. The gods. Y'all best recognize. He also said we were the Mac Daddy. I don't know why he said that, but shout out to Darge Knight, who is clinically, chronically, and unfortunately, I think it's an overall negative, obsessed with crumpets. So let's go ahead and move forward. Remember, because we were playing with Darge and I, Bleeding Edge, and he lost us a game because he's spilling tea and crumpets all over his controller, and it was really unfortunate. Hey, D-Batch, what's going on, buddy? Another week, another show.
Yes. We got a little bit of good weather today out here. It's been raining for the last few days, so I took out the drone today. It's a little relaxing day. Can't wait to get into these topics. You're right. We do have a lot of things to talk about, and some of the things from last week kind of soaked in and marinated a little bit, so I'm sure we're going to have some great topics tonight.
Drunken Monkey says, Tim Dog, baby, yeah, we got the Tim Dog. Speaking of Tim Dog, xCloud Tim Dog, what's going on, buddy? How you been?
Good. Happy to be here. Another RDX, another week, a lot of good topics, ready to go. Let's go.
Richard in the chat, shout out to him. He's a channel member. He says, Zucker moving up. He's almost at the top of the list now instead of off the screen. Yeah. I made sure little Zocker's on the screen.
Let's all leave really quick and get Zocker at the very top, and then we'll come back in.
Yeah. Shout out to Obi-Wan, Lethal Papa, Fantastic Moz, Nano Polymath. What's going on, buddy? But again, yes, we do have Zocker87. What's going on, buddy? Another week, another show.
Hell yeah, man. I'm excited. I can tell the chat's excited. There's a lot to talk about, man. Sony actually came out and started talking, and there's a lot to go off, man. And even Xbox, like everything just... Man, shit's moving quick right now, people. The summer's going to be intense, and we're here to talk about it.
Hell yeah. Shout out to all channel members. We got a lot of channel members in the chat. Shout out to everybody that supports the show and any which way and which how. If you haven't seen last week's show, Ricari Austin from Inside Xbox actually just jumped in randomly, and he had a really good discussion about everything that had been going on this week. We've had guest after guest after guest after guest. And even if we only get one guest or zero, we're going to be able to do a lot with the time we have here. And it kind of be nice to kind of get the panel's take and kind of have a little more room to breathe here. So hang on. We do have another one here from Pandas Eat Bamboo. Shout out to you, buddy. Fantastic name. Crumpets are whack. He says Thin Mints Gang. Yeah, Dark Knight, I'm sorry, buddy, but... English muffins, crumpets, same thing. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get like a ton of hate mail there. Let me give a shout out to some of the fantastic patrons that are in the shout out tier here. And big shout out to Nerdy Meathead. My mistake. Apparently he was on here and I didn't get a notification from it at all. So I hadn't been getting emails from Patreon or anything. So again, everyone who has been and is a patron, big shout out to you guys. Thank you for everything you do. Snake Eyes, big shout out to him. Assassin Lupa, Alec Gamer 4, Frost did that shit. Dave, Tony Stark, RDX. We were in a party with him earlier. Pixel Witcher KY, Bob. We've also got Foreign Object, Teo, John Blue, Vecballs, Deviator X, Obi-Wan FTW, Scout Trooper 74, Centurion 1307, which hang on, that might be a mistake. Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Texas Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cabillo, The Legend, Chanagram, Naughty Nubbin, Alfonso Hogan, A Squad, Slim 73. And that list updates around the 5th of every month. Sign up today. And we've got a giveaway winner. This is Cybernux. There was only 4 people that commented, so it wasn't really a stiff competition there. Cybernux won a copy of whatever he wanted, which was Control. So enjoy that, Cybernux. Please reach out to me, buddy, on Twitter. And I need to follow you anyway, buddy. So, yeah, reach out to me. Hey, we've also got a Game Pass code. Fuck, holy shit, there's a lot here. Sorry, guys. 3 months of Game Pass are given away from somebody. And let me find that real quick.
Somebody.
Yeah, I didn't put the name there, but I put it somewhere else. But long story short, somebody sent that code over, and we'll be giving that away. And that is from SSG Zolge, Zolge, from Xbox Live. Lisa will be giving that code away at some point, and I'll call on him later in the show to do so. So keep your eye in the chat. And of course, thanks to the fantastic moderators for doing what they do. Microsoft, not only Microsoft, but Linus Tech Tips, a lot of the industry guys have a lot to say on PlayStation 5's Unreal 5 tech demo, Colt Eastwood. And you know what? I'm going to start with you because we've got to do it. We've got to do it. So, I mean, obviously, you got to be familiar with the situation. PlayStation, Sony, they show off a tech demo. And there's a lot to this because they've tried to convince people that you know, it's a deep collaboration between Sony and Epic, and we know it is, right? But at the same time, they've already confirmed that it runs on a 2080 notebook or a laptop, a low-power laptop, with an SSD that's not even close to as fast as the PS5's SSD. And a lot of people what?
I mean, that's part of the controversy. I'm just kind of helping you lead up. Keep going.
I mean,
it gets good. Keep going.
Well, go ahead and explain it. I mean, we got a ton of great topics, but we got to start with this one because it's been in the conversation all week. We've had Colin Pinty from Gears of War, the technical guy behind Gears 5. The work they've done on that game is insane. Talking about, hey, you think that looks good? Man, I can't wait to see this engine on Series X. The engine is upgradable from Unreal Engine 4 to 5. You can upgrade it, which I didn't know at the beginning. So you can actually include these features and build onto existing Unreal 4 games. And Colin Pinty is undoubtedly working with Unreal 5 right now. He did talk about how this would look amazing on Xbox Series X. Bill Spencer saying they did amazing work. They got a ton of studios working with it already. We've also got Linus Tech Tips going on a rant. Well, shout out to Linus. I can watch about anything that motherfucker does. About SSDs and the marketing behind this and how it didn't really make sense. I mean, what was your thought with the what's going on there? What have you been seeing?
Well, a few days after the tech demo, which looks fantastic, people were complaining that it wasn't full 4K or it wasn't 60 frames and it's not fully optimized. So the full story isn't quite there. They're just kind of showcasing.
Hang on, boy.
I am.
Yeah.
I can back off a little bit.
What'd you do to that microphone since last week? All right.
I made a video. So I'll back off a little bit. But anyway, what happened is the game looks amazing. That's what they're showing off is the detail that can be rendered in real time on the engine. But the Epic China team was talking about the stream, and they were showing the actual stream, or they're showing the actual render that we watched for Jeff Keighley's show. And Tim Sweeney was saying, they're just playing it off a laptop. But the Epic China developers were talking about, according to translators, I had 2 different people on Twitter that can speak Chinese and English that said, I'm translating this the best I can. But what they're saying, I'll paraphrase, is that they were running the demo off of a 2080 M, I think it's called, laptop GPU with a 970 Evo SSD, which is not nearly as quick as the PS5. And they were just talking about how the performance was there running at 60 frames or 40 frames plus, and they were trying to target 60. So Tim Sweeney went on full control to cover up, not to cover up, but to protect NDA because now they're not supposed to be talking about anything outside of the PS5 tech demo. And so that video was deleted from Epic China, where they were talking for an hour about what was possible in that Unreal Engine, and partially when they were talking about how they had it running on a laptop that was like a high-end gaming laptop. So that was where I'm like, that's kind of it's a weird thing. They pulled that video. It hasn't gone back up. Some people grabbed it.
That when Unreal 5 comes out, you can actually run this demo on your PC as well. Like if you get
of course. 5. Yeah, and GameSpot just reported that this demo will run on Xbox Series X, and everybody, even people that don't like Xbox, were like, "Well, duh." But the people who are unsure are saying that, they're going to have to downgrade it to get it to work on the Xbox Series X because the PS5 has a much faster SSD, and that's where the nonsense is just never ending. And that's all I got to say about
Shout out to Free Jack. He says, Microsoft built 2020 today. They are apparently putting DX12 on Linux, meaning if the stars align, it could come to PS5 in some way if they somehow run Linux on the PS5 like they did the PS3. Onslaught, shout out to you, buddy. Says, best Xbox podcast, period. Thank you so much, sir. It is an opinion, but I'm glad it's yours. But I mean, when it comes to the PS5 stuff, Tim, we call you face crusher because you stomp so many skulls on Twitter. What have you been seeing on Twitter about this whole SSD thing? And again, there's some very intelligent, reasonable people out there that kind of fell for the marketing behind this. What have you been seeing out there in regards to the PS5 only possible SSD stuff?
I see people trying to make things that are exclusive that are not, I see people trying to say things that can be done only on one thing that can't be done on the other, which is far from the truth. Honestly, I was kind of taken aback about how stupid this was because this is a multi-platform engine. There's nothing exclusive to it. To even infer that is pretty. It's overreaching, and I honestly, some things you don't have to say. You should just know. And this is one of those things. Like, you shouldn't have to defend this, and you shouldn't have to say, this is, they're only making this possible on PS5. People were just making up that it was only possible on PS5. They were trying to have an advantage over Xbox Series X because obviously you look at the specs on the Xbox Series X comparatively to PS5, and it's a landslide. And this is an SSD, which we're talking about, which, this is not, the end all of graphics. This is the back end of the graphics and streaming and assets and certain things like that. Your GPU and your RAM and certain things add to that more than an SSD. I just, honestly, I'm just baffled that people are going along with this. And to be honest, the certain people that I've seen going with it, I was just very surprised. I honestly, if this was reversed, I think Xbox would get flack for it, and I think that people would say that, the people are lying and this is a joke, and there would be like a pushback. But kudos, I guess, to Sony. They're a little deceiving in this, but. You had Jeff out there.
I don't think it was Sony though, wasn't it? Like, it wasn't even really a Sony event.
I wouldn't blame Sony, but I'm just saying they're smart in the way that they get this to the point where people are believing that it's exclusive, and they got casuals to believe that it's exclusive. And I think part of that is because you have Jeff here, who's basically a fanboy for Sony. I don't care. I don't know how you can say that he's not.
Jeff, who's Jeff?
Jeff Keighley.
Oh. And
he puts out a tweet and he's like, this is PS5. And the way he worded it, infer, like, you could, I guess, take away that this is only on PS5. So the whole thing was basic shit,
right? It's his gig.
Yeah, but I mean,
I know what you're saying.
Line. It's just the whole thing's become a shit show, and everything past that, has proven that, even the interactions with the Epic China thing and the things that were said, even the things that were said behind the scenes, people were just like, this is pretty crazy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox they have something else like a tech demo that they could put up, because I don't think that they were in a position to do that.
It was called Hellblade 2, and it looked far better.
Right,
No,
right.
I know
People forgot about that,
Yeah.
but I mean, any day Xbox should just put up something of a demo with DirectX 12, Ultimate, and say it's, hey, look at this. This is it's not a real game. It's a demo.
Yeah.
And I just kind of just felt like it was, it's kind of bullshit. If you really look at it, it's.
Let me give a shout out to Sean Berry, by the way, reminding me that my mixer. So I was doing some other work over the past couple days with someone, and everything was fucked up on my mixer, so I just changed it back. Thank you so much for telling me. It was really out of whack, Colt. You didn't even tell me. I'm fucking disappointed.
You sound great.
Thanks,
you actually
Sean.
sounded like it was hurting my ears a little bit, and I was like, "Is he off?" And then I saw the comment, and I was like,
Yeah,
shit,
because
he's off."
when you're doing certain types of work, you have to have the treble and all turned all the way up, and crap makes you sound weird. But
It's all good.
basically, I mean, yeah, Tim's right to a degree. I agree with him to a degree, rather. Of course, everyone's got their own opinion. But the main thing's been a shit show to me is the comments from people that didn't even know what the fuck a SSD was 4 months ago. And now magically this thing, it's only possible because of this, when really they've already Epic confirmed it themselves that it ran on a laptop, right? With a much slower SSD in it. And just like we said it would. And again, secondly, you saw the Spider-Man demo. That camera was flying so fast it ripped the screen off of itself. If this was really only utilizing and made for just that SSD, she would have flown a lot faster than that, in my opinion. That's just my take on it. But like we've always said, any game that runs on absolutely anything else except for that SSD and only that SSD will never leverage that SSD to its max, because it is a hardware baseline for design. And unfortunately, it's just not going to happen unless your game is only ever on the PS5, or they have a very high minimum spec in that regard for the PC port of whatever game they might bring in the future.
Let me jump in on this real quick. The one thing I don't like is that this show, they talked about it's supposed to be like a next gen thing, but also it's supposed to focus on Epic and their hard work that they've put on their engine. And instead of focusing on that, people skewed it to be a console war thing.
Mhm.
And that to me is just stupid. And if you want to know what company has first party developers working more on that engine, it's Xbox. They have the coalition, the initiative.
shit.
They have a bunch of people getting a lot out of that engine. No matter what you say, Gears 5 is one of the best looking games this entire generation. And that's
I thought
Unreal
Metal
Engine,
Gear Solid
people.
3 looked better, Zucker.
Well, idiots will say shit. But what I'm saying is that it's just the way it is that demo was amazing. It was cool to see. And instead of like coming together as like gamers that just enjoy next gen tech and all that stuff and seeing what the Unreal Engine can do on all devices, like they're saying like, yeah, this is going to be available on all devices. Like, and you're right, Tim, to be honest. Jeff Keighley did ask some questions that did incite like, well, is it exclude, like just stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
He
you're in
knows
the
it'll
industry
get
and you're
clicked,
asking
I
stuff like
think.
that. Like, I mean, I get like if it's his job to incite that and maybe cause like a I don't know, say some dumb shit. But to me, it's just kind of like, come on, man. Like, you got to understand that, like, yeah, the thing that I made a video about this and I like this is that Xbox didn't just sit back and relax and let them say whatever they want. Phil Spencer was like, yeah, Hellblade 2 running on that.
Did you make a video about that?
I did.
Wait, he didn't
today.
say Hellblade 2 is running on Unreal Engine 5.
He said I cannot wait.
He
to
said that
see-
they're working
No,
with
he
Unreal
didn't say
Engine.
that.
But
But
they-
then Aaron
Wow.
Greenberg said, I can't wait to see the Unreal Engine working on the most powerful console.
That
Like,
doesn't mean
they
Hellblade.
tweeted
I
that
just
shit.
want to jump into this real quick. I'm just dumbfounded that everyone seems to think on the PlayStation side that this SSD is such a huge difference, and everything that we saw in that demo is only possible
Get 'em,
because of that SSD. Now, I'm going to say
Yes,
right now, I was impressed with what I saw, and I agree with Zocker. We should all be coming together as gamers and saying, "Holy shit! Look at the engines that are going to power our next generation games. Imagine the creativity that all these developers are going to have, and how much bigger and greater these worlds are going to look when a lot of the work is being done for them with all this new tech." But I don't know, gamers seem to think it's exclusive to the PlayStation 5. Now I'm going to just kind of kill this right now. The PlayStation 5's SSD is a great SSD. I'm not going to say it's not a good SSD, and I'm not going to
It's a
say
great
it's
one.
not fast. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say it's not faster than the Xbox Series X's SSD. But you have to put into account, the hardware block that they have for the decompression in there, the velocity architecture, the 100 gigabytes that dealer talks about all the time of virtual memory that they have access to. And when you look at everything on paper, I believe it's around that number. Don't quote me on the exact number, but I believe it's like 7.2 gigabits per second max speeds on the Xbox Series X, and it's like
it's just under 5.
It's like no, I think with
It's
I think with
4.8.
I think with the velocity though, and it's
Well, that's the thing about virtual memory is the raw number doesn't really tell the full story when you have 100 gigs of in-game assets available, right? Yeah.
From my research, from what I've been doing, it's around 7 point something gigabytes per
He's
second.
on Wikipedia, ladies and gentlemen.
Like in theory, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't think consoles are going to hit their top speeds in theory, and the PlayStation 5, I believe, max with their crack and all that shit is like 9 gigabytes or something like that. But that's like the theory and all that shit. It is faster, but it's not going to beat the extent where you're going to see graphical differences on these games. Like I've said many times, you're going to see maybe it depends on the game.
It doesn't matter if it's 4 times faster. If a game is made for a mechanical drive on PC or any other device but that SSD, it doesn't matter.
Even if both of them are utilizing the SSD, like I said, the textures may load in a little bit faster on the PlayStation 5. The levels may load a few seconds faster. The draw distance might be a little bit further. But like I said, Xbox has velocity
to
mitigate
Xbox
all
also
that
has
shit.
100 more gigabytes of memory bandwidth.
And also too, there's also other tricks that developers have been doing for years to master the draw distance if it's not going as far as the PlayStation 5 is capable of at its max speeds. The bottom line is that you're not going to see a difference in the games when it comes to the SSD because they're both utilizing SSD, so they're both going to be fucking fast. And that's all you have to see the differences. It's going to be a lot of Digital Foundry fucking face-offs where they're fucking examining, saying, okay, this one goes a little bit further in the draw distance there. You have to really zoom in to 400% and then, stop the speed to fuck. You're barely going to be able to fucking notice the difference when it comes to the speed apart from loading. It's not like I get so annoyed that people think the SSD is going to overcome GPU and the CPU and the memory bandwidth that Microsoft has.
That's
the
not
advantage
how it works.
of the Xbox Series X.
That's not how it works at all. No. D's standing in the middle of his living room swinging a flail around, people.
It's so agitating, though.
Yeah, it's
kind of
ridiculous.
By the way, I looked up the Phil Spencer thing, and he did say, he says, the killer will work by a team at Epic, Unreal Engine. Many of our Xbox game studios are using Unreal, like the team at Ninja Theory, creating Hellblade 2, and are excited.
Not Unreal Engine 5. Jesus Christ.
I mean, he just has to add it. It's their app.
In Exile today said they're using Unreal Engine 5, and you just said, I believe, that Unreal Engine 4 is upgradable. Yeah, I'm sure Hellblade 2 is.
I'm just saying that Phil didn't say that officially that it is. And I asked that question in my video about it, and I said, well, yeah, they could be, but it could be the latter, that they have multiple other studios doing it too, So
he says Unreal Engine 5, though. He says creating Hellblade 2 and are excited to bring these UE5 innovations to life on Xbox Series X. That's the end of his tweet.
Yeah. They are excited to bring the innovations to life on Xbox Series X.
Yeah, Ninja Theory creating that are excited to bring these UE5 innovations.
Zocker, calm down, sir.
Sir,
I can hear your arm jingling around.
I'm just saying it, sir. I'm just saying it.
Zocker has a good point. Hold on, Zocker has a good point, but Hellblade is already in development, and Unreal Engine 5 was that available to them?
Well, it's Colt. We just said it's upgradable.
Okay.
They can add.
I'm 100% sure that Ninja Theory is going to be using Unreal Engine 5. And another thing that annoys me about this is that when people saw the Hellblade 2 trailer, everyone was saying, "Oh, this is not real. Look, it's all seamless." But when we see this running on the Unreal Engine 5 demo for the PlayStation 5, nobody had a problem in that. Like, come on,
It seems like Unreal Engine 5 is UE4, but with this GI system, ray tracing as well. And the particle simulation, what is that called again?
There's a lot of features.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll add more, but I'm just saying it's built all on Unreal Engine 4, and it looks amazing. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the tech demo. A shout out to, I wish I could pronounce that, Faisal 007. He says, as long as Jeff Pony is doing it, God, you guys, come on. Jeff Keighley did not kill E3, but he says as long as Jeff Keighley is doing the summer events, they will always make sure, that Sony looks good. So I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, he's doing his job. I think with Series X, if he had an exclusive there, which you never know, he might, then he might ask questions that incite things like that as well. There's no way to really work around it. KY Bob, he says Xbox is giving us the option of changing SSD out like a. So you think, okay? So you're talking about the expandable external, I guess, or the slot on the back, maybe?
Way too much time on an SSD.
Yeah.
It's like so crazy.
Listen. At the end of the day, what Sony showed is great. It's great that they made their hardware available to Epic to do something like this. This is a big showing for them. It's awesome. The problem is that people think it's exclusive. That's the problem. That's all. Like people,
even PC guys, I'm surprised they didn't. Usually, if you attack their platform, they're they're the most combative. They really were kind of like not really in. I mean, Linus Tips did. What
did he say, Tim? Linus Tech Tips.
Well, he was like, they said this isn't available. Then he showed 2 drives that were like, I think $1,000 each. But he showed them that were as fast as PlayStation 5. So he just basically, there's been a lot of shit with this, and it's just sad that it honestly has gotten to this point because when you're talking about a multi-plat engine that's going to work on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5, the last thing you really should be thinking about is exclusive features, unless it's said, and it wasn't said. All it was said was that it could be done on faster than on higher. He was specific. He didn't, say Xbox Series X, but he said high-end PCs with NVMe. So, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this is really silly. And I think that even Xbox and anybody who was slighted by that has to look at this silly. I mean, I just don't understand how it had so much legs. Usually common sense is but usually common sense kicks in, and it sure didn't kick in.
People think UE5 is you can't help those people if they think that's exclusive, right? The real problem is that people think this is only possible on PS5 with the flying part where the SSD is stressed, right? And again, I think she would have flown faster had it been utilizing 5.5 or more per second there. I don't think that. I think that's common sense, and then they had since confirmed that it will run, and they have had it running. Epic China had already talked about that in depth, so the demands aren't actually all that. They've also confirmed that when UE5 is available, you'll be able to run that demo on your PC and test it out yourself, and they're going to actually make that playable. The flight section was not playable, however. So that was actually on rails.
It could have been playable, but they made it on rails because they said that if they opened it up to playable, people would fly outside of where they decorated the corridor.
Like it was just too much work for the time they had, right? And I think it took 6 months for 20-something people to build that demo.
Well, I just can't imagine modeling like one of those statues when you watch that. Like, oh my gosh!
A developer hit me up in DM and he said, and even the guy of Santa Monica Studios, they talked. People think that they're going to get a 10-hour game that looks that good are just fooling themselves. It's the amount of attention to detail put into that 15 seconds. Took 2 months.
15 seconds.
And think about that. And look at the developers. I think Tom Sawyer says it from Obsidian. He has some information on it. He talked about it. And the guy from Santa Monica, he said basically what he said was, I guess it's called gigascans. I don't know what that means, but he said the amount of gigascan work that you would need to do, he basically just boo-hooed it like it was impossible.
Yeah. Well, let me get Douglas here. Douglas Lowe, shout out to you, buddy. He says, glad to be here live this week. A little late. And, of course, the legendary D-Batch already educating. My plastic box is better. He says, I'd be right all the time. My plastic box is better than yours. Keep doing your thing, guys. Thank you so much. We've also got the legendary Dreadpool at Dealer Gaming. Linus showed a 16 terabyte, 15 gigabyte per second PCI card, which will sell for $2,000. Later in the year,
I
yeah.
saw that.
That's crazy. That's like for
He already bought two of them.
production-based work, right?
Can I just say something on the PC stuff though? PC guys need to like relax a little bit. First of all, they shouldn't be jumping up and down because they should know that tech is gonna come to fucking PC. Consoles are gonna have it first. It's gonna trickle down to PC. In fact, I think the consoles having SSD is gonna advance PC. I think a lot of
It will,
PC
most
games
definitely.
going forward are gonna have a minimum spec of a solid state drive. And I think it's
I
good
don't
for
think
everybody.
so, man. It'll be a long time before that happens.
Oh, we're hearing
Like
some
across
rumors,
the board?
we're hearing some rumors that the Nvidia, well, from Moore's Law at least, it's his channel. They said that it's going to the Nvidia 3000 series are going to utilize RAM, utilize the memory, and do similar stuff to what these consoles are doing. So let's wait and see. But I honestly tell you, it's going to come to PC. I would say it's going to come to PC in a year.
Hey, Nano Polymath, shout out to you, buddy. He sends out a sticker. Bravo! And then we've also got Sovereign Kagito. Thank you so much. He said, hey, Pony. He's going at him again. He says, Ponies keep running with the PS5 more efficient narrative, which is so funny because it has less features of efficiency confirmed for it right now. People said it had BRS, but turns out that was a primitive shaders feature, which Alex from Digital Foundry confirmed was not the same thing. And it's also running pretty hard there. But he says when the SSD is nothing but brute force. I mean, yeah, it's a nice SSD. You can't talk shit on it. But the problem is people think that it's like another processor or the equivalent to more CUs or anything in that realm. That's kind of silly.
It's not.
It's kind of silly.
I would definitely say there would be a big difference if the PS5 had this SSD and the Xbox had like a SATA standard SSD, like one I got in 2015. Like, but this is an NVMe. Like this thing, both these are integrated in the board. They both have their own software and hardware solution, like bundle that they use, Velocity Architecture and Kraken. Like they're both doing their thing. And like D said, we're going to see faster load times on the PS5 on multiplats, and we're going to see faster. I don't know if we're going to see any difference on multiplats. So it's going to be hard to say, look at this open world on PS5, this Uncharted 5 game, right? Look at how this game runs like in these big open world areas. And then how do you compare that to an Xbox game? Well, I mean, Gears 6 sort of did this, but it's not the same, and the conversation's over.
First party games, well, yeah, they're going to be able to take advantage of it.
If they're not coming to PC anytime soon, yeah. Shinsai says Lumen in the land of Nanite, using the UE5. Shout out to you, Shinsai. Also, we got to give a shout out to get close to 1,800 people watching. Guys, hit that like button if you haven't. Let's get some likes up there. Of course, show a buddy the show and retweet it. Do what you do. Thank you so much for getting it out there for us. We do appreciate it, guys. Everyone that rocks out with us, everyone that super chat supports, all that stuff. We got the best chat in the universe. I say it every week. Obviously, the SSD is exciting. I think the PS5 is going to be very good and easy to develop for. But when it comes down to it, as a baseline for hardware design and software design based on this hardware, you've got to have it lowest common denominator being a 5.5 gig per second SSD to really leverage that. And unfortunately, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is coming to every platform, right? Doom Eternal's on every platform. Grand Theft Auto's on every platform. All the stuff's on most all platforms. And if it's on PC, it's damn sure don't even got an SSD even close to a minimum spec at this moment. Doom Eternal, this is one of the best looking games ever made. Running at ridiculous fidelity, run it at whatever resolution, ultra settings on PC. Guess what? It runs perfectly fine on a 7,200 RPM hard drive,
Right.
which is not even close to as fast as a SATA-driven SSD, which is a fraction of as fast as the one in the Xbox Series X. So there is so much headroom here in terms of what's left to be utilized before they are forced to upgrade these drives. And I'm sure there will be some that push the envelope, like Star Citizen, a game that costs more than most all games ever and still isn't out. So, let's go ahead and see how that goes. But at the end of the day, guess what does scale? Graphics power, CPU power. And when people talk about how the CPU is almost just like the Xbox CPU, and if it's the biggest leap, they're really the same. Well, you're talking about a 10.2 teraflops. They're kind of close. But when you need more CPU power, that's the disadvantage of PS5. You suck that power away from the GPU to get that 3.5 gigahertz. You're not at 10.2 anymore at that point. So again, it's kind of a seesaw effect.
Efficient.
Let me know.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
Tim Dog, savage as fuck. Hey, don't forget, guys, we got 3-month Game Pass giving it away later on the show, and of course we'll give the guy from Xbox Live another shout out towards the end of the show there. But Xbox have spoken on it. They're upgrading engines. They're working with it. I can't wait to see what they're doing. PS5 is going to be amazing. I say it every single time we fucking talk about this thing. Series X is going to be amazing, even better so when it comes to visuals. That's pretty clear. Anybody who knows anything about this stuff knows that. There was also, real quick, a Ghost of Tsushima gameplay demo. And Colt, we watch this at glorious 3 megabyte per second stream.
Horrible bit rate. and the final isn't much better. Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
It's Ghost of Tsushima is the actual.
Ghost of shiitake mushrooms.
I've learned that the real pronunciation. I've been saying Tsushima forever. It's Tsushima. Yeah, it's the feudal Japan Assassin's Creed we always wanted, right? It looks very cool. People are saying it looks barren. It's a downgrade. Game looks good.
D, is it a downgrade, you fuck?
So,
I know you were pushing that.
Oh, you know what? In all honesty, when I saw the stream at first, the stream was just horrible quality, and then when I saw the 4K upload, I was like, "What the fuck? This looks fucking really bad too." I really dissected it, and honestly, I noticed that the
oh shit!
I noticed that the ambient occlusion was worse. I noticed that
he's pulling a meat with Spider-Man.
I noticed that the depth of field didn't seem as strong, but then again, at the same time, we didn't have a one-for-one likeness from a scene to scene. So I'm gonna have to really keep my final judgment until the final copy comes out. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the upload was even the 4K upload was at a low bit rate.
Somebody didn't pay the internet bill that month, D. Come on.
It was fucking shitty. And also, too, it wasn't as vibrant as the initial trailer. Like there was nothing that I saw on last week's and I thought, don't get me wrong, the game looks fantastic. I think it's a fantastic looking game. I'm just simply saying what I saw on Thursday didn't look as good as what I saw initially, and there's a few reasons why, like I said, and also to the bit rate was really low of it. Also to different scenes, it was kind of dark and dreary, wasn't as colorful. And I'm just gonna leave my my final thoughts to get the final game. But there's one thing I gotta say: the end scene of the initial trailer, they're fighting in that in that big yard with all the trees and all the leaves are blowing and the fucking depth of field looks amazing, and he's fighting that chick. I saw nothing that looked like that
didn't
in the gameplay,
but it was a stream though.
But even like I said, go look at the upload.
But the upload looked like they just re-uploaded the damn stream though. It still looked like trash.
I know what I'm saying. Like the 4K upload, like afterwards,
It's a low bit rate.
Low on that, man.
Yeah,
so
when
they
he was
did
going
a
really
file
fast
export type thing. Oh, it looks like it. I mean, there were some people like, "What happened on the 60 FPS Warriors? Why aren't they complaining about this game?" It's like, well, that's because we understand that that's running on the current hardware with JAG cores, and they can't do 60 FPS where there's a ton of geometry and detail and all this stuff going on because you got a bottleneck there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought to be honest with you, first of all, Sony could have done anything because they showed gameplay. And that was the number one critique for last week for Xbox. And so they showed a bunch of gameplay, almost 20 minutes of straight gameplay. I thought the game looked freaking awesome. I did not like following the fox. I was like, what the fuck? Am I Dr. Doolittle in this
I
shit?
found a weird fox. He led me to a crack house.
Yeah, like you just like follow the fox or the birds and the wind. And I was like, all right. I mean, the wind thing is pretty cool, but the fox, I don't know, it was weird. But everything else was awesome. Like I said, I wanted, awesome combat, brutal combat. And he's like chopping dudes' arms off. And there's 2 ways to play, it seems, like assassin, or you can just walk up to a camp and start fucking dudes up. So I'm looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to close out the generation really well for Sony. I think it's going to remind people why they buy the console. We got to give due where due,
Give due where due is due,
Yeah, you got to give your dues out, dudes.
I mean, we kind of do that every fucking time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
DJ Hero, shout out to you, buddy, says, it comes down to what you should do with the engines as a developer. Optimize Optimus Prime. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That is absolutely true. We have seen engines like Unreal Engine 4 create products that are night and day. Hellblade, one of the best looking games of all time. Gears 5, one of the best looking games of all time. Then there's Fortnite. Then there's State of Decay 2. Guess what? Those are the same engine. Sea of Thieves, Unreal Engine 4. Right? Yeah. So Days Gone, Unreal Engine 4. So it comes down to art direction. And while Sea of Thieves has some of the best HDR I've ever seen in my life, if not the best, and it has really beautiful aspects to it, it's clear that they chose to make it look like that on purpose. And that's because that's kind of their direction. That's what they like to do. So, again, yeah, you're right. You can take something and really, really manipulate it in different ways. But again, Ghost of Tsushima, whatever you want to call it, it looks good. I know it's going to look much better. It seems like a game that absolutely really benefits from HDR from what I was seeing, because a lot of it was washed out there too. I don't know what happened on the stream. I do not understand why these billion, quadrillion dollar companies don't understand how to fuck to upload stuff properly. But at the end of the day, I guess everyone's got their struggles. I don't know. It looked good though. I'm interested in the combat. I don't know if I like the fact that I have to choose to be a ghost or a samurai type warrior, right? I think only the ghost can latch onto stuff, if I'm perceiving that correctly, Tim.
Did you get that feeling that I'm sorry? Did you just call him Tim? I
sure did.
It's no, okay, I mean, I don't know if you can, but for me, my take of the game was like I agree with everyone. It looked good. It was looks like it's fun, but I was going into this stream thinking that this was going to be on the level that a lot of the Sony guys to me conveyed that they believe that it would be. Like it'd be on the level of God of War. And
I mean, look at this gameplay, Tim. You're probably not seeing it, but this looks so much better than the quality stream we saw, or even the re-upload that we saw from Sony. And I just don't understand why people have a hard time making their gameplay look decent, even live at this point, especially if you're $1 billion company.
I don't know.
There's something wrong with that. I think like Jerry, who is the guy who renders the video after they're done, like he just doesn't know what he's doing. Because we've seen this. This isn't a cap at Sony or PlayStation. We see this all the time in the industry with big sites or big gaming developers or media corporate sites that report on stuff. Like they don't know how to upload quality content. And like, I don't understand, like that 18-minute tech dive probably took them several days to write and script, and then several days to record the footage they want and edit it down and write the narration and record and produce it. They do all that work and they produce this 18-minute deep dive of a walkthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. And then Jerry, who renders in Final Cut Pro at like 8 or 10 megabits per second, which is the quality, which is what makes... Let me rant for a second, which is what makes it when he's on his horse riding and you look at the grass, it no longer looks like grass. It looks like green fuzz. You can't see it anymore. And that's what, and I watched that re-upload that Dee's talking about.
It's the same trash quality in terms of bitrate, right?
Yeah. Once you sit still, it's like when you're streaming on Twitch or Mixer on your console. You know, that quality is not available to you with
and
that
we
one
did
cord.
Bitch about Xbox stream. Like they streamed all these next-gen high frame rate games at 30 FPS on YouTube, but I will say that it was in 4K and it was at a good bit rate. They did have that.
Yeah, so I mean, they spend all the, and I'm ranting, trying to get out to other people. If you're going to take all this time, check your settings before you hit export. I mean, this is what Dealer and I have been working on for a couple of years on our videos. Like we've done tests, we've done attempts and tries until we got to what we feel is a really high quality export. And people are like, holy
quality of footage.
Yeah. I mean, our videos suck, but the videos look good, right?
They look fire. And almost like the real gameplay, but they suck.
Right. Just do a little. Like these guys should know better. Like you're leaving it in the hands of Jerry
media outlets, right? Or $1 billion companies, $1 trillion companies, even. And Xbox is a little better at it usually. That's why I would call this kind of an anomaly, right? Eric, whoever came in, shout out to Eric, he came in that day and he just didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I said, you know what? You have fingers. Let's try it. And it didn't work out. Unfortunately, it was for a game that I am still excited for. I think that it's going to look glorious. I think that Infamous Second Son looked amazing 7 years ago.
Right.
So it's going
I mean, for me, though, my biggest takeaway was it's going to be a good game. I just don't think it's going to be a game of the generation like that people were talking about. I think it's going to be more or less, an 84 Metacritic.
I think it's going to be around 85, 85.
Yeah, 85. Like I don't see this just being a game on. Listen, to get a game on the level, and Xbox knows is better than anybody. To get a game on a level of like God of War and The Last of Us 2, whatever. that's just that's very hard to do. And
But Xbox need to do it, man. It's time. I got to give a shout out to Assassin Looper real quick. She's fucking savage right now. She said the graphics for Ghost of Tsushima were trash. Come on now. Nah, man, it's going to look good. It's going to look good. It was a stream, I promise. Corey Pohl says, killing it as always, guys. Thank you so much. And of course, we do have Drim90, who has a lengthy one. You got to love these. PlayStation gives protection from their fanboys so that they can make mistakes. I mean, I've seen the Xbox guys damage control everything in the book. I'm just keep it a bug. As soon as a matter of fact, they damage controlled the fucking next gen gameplay debut running on the power of a 2080 Super, and they used indie games, and they still damage control it. It's not acceptable. When they make a mistake, they're jumped. Yeah, I mean, again, it's on both sides, man, and that's why again we try to be consistent and be honest. And it doesn't mean you got to agree. But
just,
at the end of the day, that's what
just outnumbered on one side. That's why.
Yeah, that's
so
why it seems
severe.
a little worse because it's about 2-1. It's the same reason a lot of PlayStation guys and podcasts, and technically they should all be doing double the numbers. They got double the search, double the fan base, all that stuff. So again, we do shout out to everyone who rocks out with us and supports us and pushes us up there with those guys. And do what you do. We got 1,800 plus watching right now, guys. Hit that like button, share us out, help us out a little bit. We do appreciate it. It is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, like Doom Eternal here looks phenomenal, and it's on my channel. I'm not a corporate. You know what I'm saying? There's no real excuse, and something like that small can go a long way, in my opinion. Zucker, I mean, you agree with the quality? I mean, what do you think happened? They spilled coffee on the computer? I mean, what happened?
I have no idea. All I know is that they need to start uploading stuff, especially now, because I feel like it just looks worse, right? And this is maybe. Like when we watched E3 videos or E3 demos or anything like that, it looked fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
It looked insane. Like everything looked nice. It was nice bitrate. Maybe this is some of the side effect of people saying we don't need E3 anymore. Like there you go. This is the shit that we're gonna get. And
is that really where your head's going with this stuff?
Kind of.
Are you being dramatic?
Like, I'm just saying, man. Like I from what I remember, like because I'll be honest. When we were talking, I turned on the first demo we saw of Ghost of Tsushima. It does not look the same.
It does not.
Sorry
look the
to say,
same, but it's not even. It's not at the same bitrate either, though. And
it's not at the same bitrate, nothing. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, this looks really good, and the game does look a lot different. And I never really went back and looked at the older gameplay, and it still looks good. The game, I'm still gonna play it. I still want it. I still want to check it out, but yeah, it just doesn't look the same. It looks a little different. Maybe not off. I'm not saying downgrade or anything like that. Just looks fucking different, people.
Bounty Boom, shout out to you, buddy. What's going on? He says, what's up, RDX? Do appreciate it. Everyone in the chat, what's up? We need to get on to the next topic real quick. This will be a quick one, but Bloodborne 2, highly rumored to be coming to PC. D-Batch, I mean, this seems to be kind of a trend back when RAM was basically starting to say Horizon Zero Dawn was coming to PC. We were putting it out there on Twitter. Nobody really believed any of us. And again, it happened. What's new? And then now we've got other rumors. And that same source was basically telling everybody that Horizon is just the beginning. But not really even the beginning. They published multiple games on PC in 2019. People just don't know about it. But the big ones are coming, D-Batch. And Bloodborne, even as a third-party or second-party exclusive, could definitely be one of them. What would your thoughts be there? Is this a sign of things to come?
Listen, Sony wants to make money. Unfortunately for Sony, they have to really bring this in slowly because their fans are going to get pissed off.
They even damage control in the posts, right? Like, we're warming our fans up to it.
Yeah, and Sony's aware of this. Sony's not stupid. They're aware of this, so they're slowly bringing them in and say, okay, we're going to start with the older titles first, so they kind of sort of get used to it and not expect, the newer titles. And we'll start to bring some a little bit newer titles. And then, then we're going to tell them how much money we're going to make and how much better it is for the ecosystem. Then they're going to accept it. Like if you look at their wording, like their language in the last report that they had for the studios, the new logo and all that shit that they're going to do for that, they had language in there that said, any game that you see on any other platform, you also see this branding on there, and you'll know that you're getting, a quality Sony PlayStation or a Sony exclusive title. Now, there'd be no need for that if they were just going to bring their games on the fucking PlayStation, because like Locker and everybody said before, if you have a fucking PlayStation, you put it in, you know what fucking exclusives you have. So it's coming. It's inevitable. It's coming. Unfortunately for Sony, they got to do it slowly so that they can, the fans up to it, but it's coming because listen, they're in it to make fucking money, not to make friends. And at the end of the day, these companies they want to make money, and for them to make, I'll be honest with you, if Sony exclusives were on the PC, they would sell like fucking gangbusters. They would. It just would. And console players and PC players, for the most part, are two different players. I'm rare where I like to display everything, but most PC gamers, they don't play on consoles, and most console players don't play on PC. It's just the way it fucking is. And it's just a bigger fan base or it's just a bigger audience that they can get exposure to their games, and they can make a lot of fucking money. You know how many PC players there are? And you're telling me that at least 1 million of them aren't going to buy
I mean, they see the numbers and how well Microsoft's doing for their install base and console, right? So
it's just a no-brainer. Why do you think they got Azure from Microsoft? You think they just got it for shits and giggles and stuff? Like, they got to pay for all of this stuff. And having their games on different platforms, it would sell.
Let me get to a few of these, and I agree with what you're saying. Like, there's a reason these companies exist for the dollar bill. And nobody can argue against that, and they clearly don't give a fuck about their most radical. So the fool in a mod says that Ghost looks great. He wants some more grit and dismemberment. They might be in the game, you never know. We didn't really get a lot of combat scenarios in terms of a lot of that, but there was some blood for sure. All the foxes and stuff gave me a Pocahontas Colors of the Wind vibes. Thank you so much, sir. The Iron Lords podcast says, salute my RDX brethren. Shout out to Cognito and them. I was on their show a couple days ago. He says, that cast me on. I'm sorry if you can hear that. He says, don't you be hating on that on that third-party showcase. Come on, Cognito. Take that cape off. All right, you got the damn cape and the broom out and shit. He said, them games solid. Dealer just want to be shooting all the you motherfucker, you play Destiny 500 hours a day. Stop it. All right. Anyway, no, shout out to Cognito. One of my favorite podcasts, honestly. And then we've got Gotham Guy. Shout out to him as well. He says, Ghost of Shiitake Mushrooms looks great, but doesn't give me a reason to buy a PS5. Yeah, it plays on the PS4. Sony fans were saying that Halo Infinite will definitely play on older consoles, so there was no reason to upgrade to a Series X. Hypocrisy. That's kind of a great point, Gotham Guy, and I think you just curve stomped about 65,000 people in a few words. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right.
By 65,000, he means 6 radical.
No, it's about 60 million, actually. So basically, he's right, though. Halo Infinite, I mean, people were talking about how this game looks, even though it runs at double the frame rate of most of these other games we've seen. I think it looks pretty good. It's far from a finished product. And even then, we didn't get to see the art direction of the open world and stuff like that. Tim, did you notice the Halo Twitter account ramping up, kind of starting to market Halo a little more already? Like, Halo Infinite marketing and stuff is starting to ramp up. And I wanted to talk about that because people are kind of concerned that it's not going to make 2020. What are your thoughts on this, and did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it, and I think from what I'm hearing, it's still on track. You know, and I had known a little stuff behind the scenes that, you know,
behind the scenes.
I couldn't talk about it, obviously, but you know, we July they're going to be there in a big way, and I think they're going to answer a lot of questions that are rightfully been asked. And
hey, Tim Dog, give us a little peekaroo.
Just, I would think that you're going to get a trailer. I think that we, you know, kind of you're going to get a trailer. I think that you kind of can.
What? A trailer? What?
You can. No, you know.
We better. If we get a trailer, I'm going Killzone. I'll just play Killzone.
I call the back bedroom in the trailer.
And I think there might be some surprising things in there. So, you know, let's just wait until then. And
what's going to be so surprising?
Microsoft needs to hear the loud voices and from the community and not show any kind of trailer. Just do a walkthrough of some different scenarios in Halo and how Halo is going to be different from Halo 5.
No,
well, you could show gameplay in the trailer. That's easy to do.
No, you can't, because that's what just happened with the main event for Xbox.
That was because it was indicative. They said this is what it's supposed to look like.
Well,
they'll show it running on
we need first-person perspective.
It's not 2006 anymore. We don't need cinematic in-engine.
No, I think you're going to get you'll get gameplay. I'm pretty sure that they know that. I don't know if they're going to have somebody sitting there playing it, But I
No.
definitely know that, especially guys who like you talk about gameplay all the time. I think there's going to be some surprise. I think there's going to be some surprises there too, and things that people say can't be done are being done.
Oh shit!
And when that happens, if it happens, I think a lot of crows going to be.
Hey,
eaten.
you know what? The crows are gonna go extinct. These all gonna get eaten. Shogun says, "Just say it, Tim Doggy."
I cannot say it, but
I know you can't say it.
I've been holding it for a month.
Oh,
so
man.
you know what I mean.
Tim Dog walks around, the motherfucker's glowing. Ashtray says, "Yeah, but it's gonna be real gameplay though." That's a good point. We all want to see that real gameplay.
I think you'll see real gameplay. I mean, they know if they show just a cinematic again, they'll get butchered. But I don't know how they're going to show that. Maybe they'll have somebody take you through a level. I mean, that's cool too. But you look at the way, or it could be something in 2015. Do you guys remember that one where they had it, they showed it, and they started off, and then they had somebody play the level?
But they had lock in it, so no one cared.
Exactly.
Francisco says, "Thank you." Yeah, D-Bash, you got some fans today. He says, "Thank you, D-Bash, for clarifying the BS. The old Digital Foundry reference bodied, LOL." And then we've got Yodani. Shout out to him. He says, "I'm in the camp that thinks it'll get delayed." So he thinks Halo Infinite will get delayed. Speaking of, where we're getting Hidden Xperia on RDX. We already had him on.
We had him on.
2 weeks ago, I think.
Sorry, Yodani. We already has Hidden Xperia on. You missed it.
See, I think people are losing with Halo and 343. While I agree it could happen that they could still have a delay, you're talking when you're dealing with outside and freelancers and contractors that are working with Xbox, you're talking about almost 700 to 800 developers on this. So this, and for a long time, this isn't a 200, a 200 dev team. This is way above that. Yeah. This is on a really huge scale, big budget. So for them, they're still pushing for that launch, and the later that you get and you don't get a delay, the more likely that it's coming.
I think Phil said it best, guys. Games that are coming out this year are not going to be as affected. The games that had like a date for this year are not going to be affected. It's the games next year that are going to be affected because they can't do any mocap because of like the world situation. So I think Halo is done with all that stuff. I think that they're just.
I think games this year have definitely been affected already. They push shit.
Well,
back.
I mean, they push shit back, but it's not because the development can't get done. They're pushing shit back because of marketing, right? Like that's what happened with Last of Us 2.
Either way, they're affected shit.
They're affected, but not in development. That's what I'm trying to say.
Joker, I like
development has been killing. I know you do.
Hey, Living Life Q, shout out to you, buddy, for the super chat. Ashtray also says, Ashtray Gaming, shout out to him. He says that strong feeling Xbox is going to ham up the July. He means he's going to mess up the July event. Ham up, Australian. Yeah, he thinks they're going to mess up the July event. I actually have a good degree of confidence. Chat, let us know what you think they're going to do in July, and is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough in July, chat? That's what I want to know. Sir X-Man, he says, don't care. I just want my flight simulator. It does look fucking phenomenal. I do give it that. And then we've also got Nightwolf with that shiny Colt Eastwood emblem. He says, thanks for thanks to all the RDX crew. Anyone want to speak on the Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account saying, how about June 11? ? I'm curious what that could be. How about June 11 there, Colt Eastwood?
I knew you was gonna call on me. Yeah, that's the first time I'm hearing that, and that sounds like more gameplay walkthrough, which they've been doing a fantastic job with their. Do they call those deep dives? I can't remember. They have that cool narrator talking. So I want to see more of that stuff.
He's like, I'm really cool. Valerian, real quick, I'm gonna throw it to whoever was just talking in there in a second. He says a Halo gameplay trailer narrated by Steve Downs, like the style CD Projekt Red did with the Witcher and Cyberpunk gameplay. I think they need to show a gameplay demo, actually, myself. But hey, whatever they got to do, man, learn from the event we just had. Okay, please do so.
They need to show us why Halo Infinite is like an all new Halo and brings back, like, they just need to show, like, here's Halo and here you are in the open areas, and you do stuff like this, and in Halo Infinite you can do this, and here's some of the weapons. But
And here's the
I
grunt,
feel like,
and here's the
I feel
warthog.
like Xbox hides information from their games almost every single time. They don't want to tell you what the new mechanics are. They don't want to tell you what part of the story is. They just want to hide everything. Like, oh, we want you to be a surprise. Well, I'll tell you what, in Xbox One generation, we've been surprised in our own way, haven't we?
They hide
And
that. They hide that 69
when's the
minute.
last time they just like showed you, so
Cody's
much
would
of
just
what the game
cursed
has
on
to
us.
offer?
Gears 4, they basically showed you the whole game, and people complained about that. I don't know if you remember that.
They just
Which
showed
one?
you fucking 5-minute walkthrough. Like,
No, they played the levels. They showed everything on Gears 4.
well, show me some fucking
So-
Gears, and if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it.
Well, it
Hey,
did not
they-
go well not showing jack crap for Gears 5. And I love Gears 5 to death. Excellent game. I was just playing it last night. Played like the whole last...
We was playing it today.
And today we were playing on the new OLED. By the way, chat, I've got an
He
OLED
became
right
an
now.
OLED lord. And by the
I
way,
had-
Samsung are going to OLED. They just announced they've invested $11 billion for OLED. They're
They
ditching.
tweeted at me and they said, hey, you got an OLED? I'm like, yeah. They go, man, we better go OLED too. I said, all right.
I gotta give a shout out to 1,900 potential OLED lords watching live. Each and every one of you can own an OLED. And again, thanks for checking us out, guys. Hit the like button, share it out, tell a friend. Let me give a shout out to.
Oh my
DRAM.
gosh, somebody just Shinso Elite said, sounds like Xbox isn't for you, Colt. Move on.
Yeah, move on,
Oh
Cole.
my gosh, you guys have to ask for more. You have to ask for stuff to be excited and to enjoy when these events come out.
Yeah.
You don't want to see like some rotated camera quick cuts of what Halo looks like, and then when it comes out, man, I hope it's really good.
I mean, guys,
Colt,
like it's
I gotta
not
say
that
that you
hard to
probably
understand
will
that
be
you
so
want
much
some
more happy on a Switch or a Wii U.
Animal Crossing, bitch. Hey,
I mean, I have all of these platforms sitting right here. I have the
Let me,
PC, I have
do
a
these
Switch.
two real quick. We'll get back to it because that'll go on for 10 minutes, and I know why too, because it is frustrating. We ask for more and more, and then people who never really ask for more get mad at us for it. But oh well, we're gonna be honest with you. DRAM 90 says that they should. Okay. He said they should add building in Halo like Fortnite. Master Chief with a fucking sledgehammer? I don't think so, sir. Also, Faisal 007, shout out to you again. He says, I want KI versus Mortal Kombat. That would be awesome, actually. That's a good idea. I like that. But yeah, go ahead, D.
I just want to say real quick on Microsoft's doing something. Microsoft, I love Microsoft. At times they're really passive. And, they
Yep.
just kind of got punched right now, what Sony just showed with the Unreal Engine 5 demo and Ghost of Tsushima. And with their poor showing from inside Xbox, they need to counter. And Jason Ronald recently said that they're going to show off the velocity architecture soon. So this is an opportunity for Microsoft to really demonstrate what Xbox Series X is capable of when they utilize the velocity architecture. And can learn from what Sony did with the Unreal Engine 5. Showcase a tech demo, showing everyone what games will look like when they utilize all of the power of the Xbox Series X and the velocity architecture and their machine learning, because the machine learning is going to be a big part for the textures. They could use lower resolution textures, real crappy textures, and use the machine learning to make it 4K, 8K, whatever, and downsample it, whatever, right? So they need to showcase something like that. And I think they have a great opportunity. If they did something like this in June, I think they could get some mind
So
share
you're
back
pro
and
Skynet
get
then.
people hyped up for the July event. So
Hey, shout
I
out
hope
to- Go ahead. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, D. Like, this is their chance to let us know what's going on and tell us about fucking Lockhart already. Optimus Code in the chat, he says, exactly, Cody Eastwood. Just because you ask for better from your favorite platform doesn't mean that you hate it. Oh my God, I agree. So
I asked for better on both of them. It's
yeah,
not,
both
I
of
want
them
to see
need
the
to do
PS5.
better. It's
I
not
wanna know
just
what I'm
one.
spending my
And
money.
it's just super annoying when we get more feedback than most people combined, and we're not allowed to ask for better. And I think that's ridiculous. So.
Yeah, and I get people tell me that I just damage control and I just let Xbox just do whatever they want and I just praise them for
And they
everything.
just
It's like,
don't watch
what?
your fucking videos.
They just don't listen. Yeah, I mean, I make a video every week, and in there's always a dig at PlayStation and Xbox where it's due. And I guess I shouldn't have said the name who said that, but come on, like, get excited, like. Hope that Xbox shows you something really cool, because if Xbox shows you a jump cut trailer of Halo Infinite after all this time, guess what? You'll be the one who have to deal with the fallout of everyone going, what the crap were they thinking? Why don't they show this
frame it
game?
the other way. The positive way is, imagine if they hype this, like they need to do like Halo 5 marketing, but it was actually true. Like Halo 5 had some of the best marketing. It got you hyped. It got me interested in the story again of Halo. But unfortunately, this is one of the worst examples of kind of misadvertising in quite some time. They need to do that across the board, and we all hate talking about it. This is what we want to say. We want to be able to talk super positively about it, and I think we will be able to do that in July. Honestly, I do. There's some great things coming. Really, really good stuff.
Let me say one more thing, because I did sound super negative, but I talked to an executive for Xbox behind the scenes, and I told him or her that, show the gameplay and have the developers speak while some of the gameplay is showing about what makes this game special or what makes it great on the new hardware. And they said that they hear that, and they take, we're going to start seeing things differently. Like, these are things that when you ask and you're respectful and you show that you like and you enjoy the brand, and you're not out there insulting people and calling people names, like, people will respect and listen. And as fans, we ask for better. And like we said the same thing with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Be respectful. Tell Ishmael that we love his work because we love what he did with Black Flag and Origins, and we're excited for Valhalla. Tell him, I love what you're doing. Can't wait. Go the next step and make sure we get a 60 frames mode. Like, it would mean the world to us. And you'll see difference. There's a reason why some of these people out there who are trolls and they're turds and they do nothing but bash and stalk other people, they don't get, their voice isn't heard from the industry because they're blocked and muted.
Yeah,
so,
like most of them are muted. We know that for.
And that's all I gotta say about
if they're hardcore crazy like that. But yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean. I'm talking about the outliers, but and that's why I say what I say. Like, they gotta show a walkthrough of some sort, like from the camera perspective, longer than. I mean, honestly, most of Xbox's trailers of gameplay, the gameplay segments are not longer than 10, 20 seconds at a time. Because I've grabbed that footage all the time to use in videos, and I have to cut the crap out of it. I got slivers of gameplay to use.
Well, yeah, and then you got to montage it together like that. Hey, Major Mick Scruffy in the super chat says they're just scared about being past the L-shaped bowl of frosted L's. That's absolutely correct, sir. That's a good classic there. And we do got a big shout out to getting close up to 2,000 people watching live, guys. Thank you so much for what you do. Hit that like button, share this out, check out the links, hit the subscribe button, the bell icon, the channel membership button, and whatnot. And of course, you can buy a shirt down below. Yes, I'm chilling hard today. But honestly, guys,
let me jump in real quick.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, I want to hear it from Zalker.
I want to ask Zalker a question real quick.
Oh,
for one, where'd you get that armor from, huh?
Walmart.
Okay. And secondly, what did you think about Cliff Blasinski saying, "Hey, Lawbreakers coming to PS4 first was a mistake. You should have went to Xbox first." He said that today.
He said that today?
Yep.
The mistake was you starting that game. So, sorry, I mean, not to be a dick to Cliff, but the guy's extremely successful and he's done a lot for the gaming world. But hey, man, you got to understand where your base is, where people follow you,
and how to make a good game.
Where'd you come from, buddy? You came from Gears. That's where people know you from. Hate to break it to you, people know you on Xbox, and that's just the way it goes. You live and learn in life. Yeah, I'm just being honest, but that whole Cliff thing. I mean, he admits he should have gone to PS4, but I understand why he did. We all do. Bigger base, bigger all that, but at some point you got to understand like who plays what. Like I'll be honest, like a lot more of my friends play either PC or Xbox for multiplayer. I have no friends, not one, that plays multiplayer on PS4. Not one.
Well,
none.
Because you don't have any PS4 friends.
I have actually a lot of them, but they don't give a shit about it. They play like...
they sounds like people with just PS4s.
Persona 5 is like a big one they play. A bunch of like those type of games, like single player games. But anyways, what I got to say about the whole like thing that we were just talking about, Colt went on a rant and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do demand better. Everybody should demand better. D, you said like the Xbox just got kind of hit because they were like the inside Xbox wasn't as good. I kind of disagree. I think inside Xbox was better. I liked what I saw from
I liked it too.
I missed this jump like 50 times, by the way.
I'm watching this. It's hilarious. But
I like the camera like, what the fuck?
I like what I saw from Ghost of Tsushima. It was great, but they didn't. They showed me the tech demo, but they didn't show me any next generation games. So the Xbox did. And yeah, the gameplay could have been better. I've said this a million times. I think the lack of Assassin's Creed gameplay killed the show. I think if they didn't promise Assassin's Creed gameplay, the show would have. It's the best inside Xbox I've seen.
It's a disservice to the power, though. It
is. And I get what you're saying. It's a disservice to the power, but there's also stuff in there that does service to the power, like the medium, the changing of environments, like right away, instantly, like little things like that.
It's not immediately apparent, but yeah, it's there.
And that's not immediately. That's an SSD. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Exactly, but it's different. It shows
people
what
just
they
have
do.
to understand it, man. Like it's so much fucking power.
Well, we're not going to see the graphical power or any power.
We've already seen that in Hellblade 2 in December. You know, like,
I understand that, but it needs to be like if it's going to be gameplay, it's going to take a little while for that to be shown off. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't agree with the whole like inside Xbox stick an L. Like I don't like L's and all that shit is fucking stupid. Like get over the L shit. Like it's just dumb. Okay, like nobody's taking L's. Just get over it. It's like a child
stop
thing.
Making fun of me.
Like I'm just saying. So I enjoyed what I saw. I enjoyed what I saw from both platforms.
No, Russian says those were next gen, Zalker, and I gotta agree.
Huh?
No. Okay. He says no. Russian says those were next gen.
Medium, yeah, and the Ascent. The Ascent is the next.
I mean, Medium, Scorn, yeah, they're in Ascent. They're
Scorn and the Ascent, like our next gen.
But they did not leverage the GPU of the console very much.
Let me destroy that narrative because he's talking about like attention to detail from developer and art style and like just making something photorealistic and next level like that. I can destroy
like
that.
Leveraging the power. It's literally what it means.
I can destroy that by complimenting his favorite platform and my favorite platform. God of War and Gears 5 look more next level than those games we saw.
You know what? This game, Doom Eternal, Red Dead, Metro. Right. There's so many that look way better than anything we saw at that event.
It's not about next gen. What he really means, but he wants to go with the narrative. What he really means, he didn't see anything that blew his mind. Like Doom Eternal will blow your mind. It's great. You know, God of War will blow your mind. And that game started like what, 2014, 2013, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like. That whole thing, like it doesn't look next gen, and that
but
next
you have
gen
to agree, though, Colt. Like you have to agree. It didn't.
It didn't. That's why I did say that. I'm just saying that right now. It doesn't look next gen because I'm saying those older games like Gears 5, God of War, those look next level. Those look mind-blowingly great. Those look like an advancement in the technology from what we've seen years ago. So, like this whole thing about where's the next gen? Well, we're gonna see stuff. I haven't seen anything from PlayStation yet. Other than the tech demo, we can't
secretive right now, Colt. Hey,
Listen,
Sean Berry says the July event landed down like a royal flush. Thank you so much.
The thing that's that blow us away from Sony is it's going to be the first game they show, which is Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Yep.
Every other developer they have has either just brought out a game or hasn't. Like they're bringing out one this summer. Every other developer is making something now. It's not going to show anything or maybe get a title screen, but Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to look insane.
No,
Halo's going to look insane.
You're going to see big games.
I'm not saying you're not going to see big games. I think we're going to see a lot of big third-party games. I think we're going to see big third-party games this summer.
Spider-Man came out almost 2 years ago. This year it'll be 2 years ago. God of War, same thing. Like they've got games. They've got the patches. Also, they'll probably show off. They've got Gran Turismo. They'll show off. They got plenty of games, and they haven't shown anything for a while. So you know they got stuff to show, and you know they're not afraid to show you some shit 4 or 5 years out. Like, unfortunately, Xbox did a crackdown and Sea of Thieves. You know, it is what it is. It just is what it is. You know, Tim Dog, I do want to come to you with this Cliff thing because you're eating your toenails in the background. Cliff Basinski, he regrets bringing it to the PS4. He's pitching his new book. I feel like that's why he threw it out there. But yeah, Lawbreakers, he said he regrets, for those just joining, bringing Lawbreakers to the PS4 first. Though, I mean, it kind of makes sense. It was a bigger install base. They had limited funds. What are your thoughts on his comments?
Well, I commend him for recognizing something that, you know, anytime somebody is man enough to say they screwed up is respectable to me, because I sometimes see people that won't ever say they did anything wrong, whether it's the smallest thing. So I do think he's trying to mend defenses. And I think, listen, I've had spats with him in the past too on Twitter. I just think it's something that's forgivable, and I don't believe in giving life sentences to people over things that they've said in the past, or maybe not the best judgment. I just think it was pretty cool that he he admitted that, you know, it was probably true. It was a lot of Xbox guys were saying at the time, but they were being told they're salty, and he did.
He was
listen,
going at
he
'em.
did. He did also throw fuel to the fire, but I think I honestly think Cliffy, in a way, would love for Microsoft to welcome him back and say, hey, help us out with this. Maybe we can put you on a consulting thing with
Just give him a small budget and maybe say,
yeah,
what can you make?
or just even put him on the Gears project as a consultant. But honestly, I think that that ship has sailed. I think that
Tim, we're at 2,000. Do a yell.
yeah, 2,000.
Oh, all right. I'm glad Tim's
All
right.
right. All right. So 2,000. So
Forget about it.
yeah, no. So no, honestly, I think that ship sailed.
You're
so
telling me.
I don't think that there's going to be a reunion or anything of the sort. But part of me, I would like to see something, and I commend Cliffy for just being human. Anytime somebody can say they screwed up or they didn't do the right thing, that's kudos to them, because a lot of times I've seen too many times people will just absolutely never admit that they're wrong. And for myself, I've done stupid things in the past. I've said stupid things in the past, but that doesn't make me a bad person.
Props for maybe self-reflection and saying, "Hey, maybe it was a mistake."
Yeah,
The best environment
was.
for Cliff. The best environment for Cliff to me is the idea guy. Like, I don't know. Did you guys see that zombie dragon game he had an idea for? There's a bunch. He's good at creating ideas. Just being the idea guy and not executing it. Just give him the idea, let him run with it, put cool shit in the game, and then have someone
then that was Lawbreakers.
again. Well, I don't know, but did he have anybody to help execute it, like a Rod Ferguson? You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can manage the developers, manage the production, have a product
quality
manager.
Was that game's problem? Was it? What was it? I don't know. I don't even.
The battle royale that was kind of long in the tooth.
It was like an Overwatch clone, kind of, right?
Right. It wasn't original. It had 80 Metacritic,
but it had a lot of problems, tech problems. It had a lot of bugs.
It did have some weird bugs on it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They need somebody to clean that shit up, get his ideas and execute it, because he does have crazy ideas. That's the whole point. Is that
he has ideas?
You need those guys.
He wants to
work
so bad.
Right? Steve Jobs was an idea guy. Didn't fucking
100%.
Steve Wozniak was the execution guy.
And that's why I say something in consulting. I agree with you. What you're saying is exactly what I would put him on if I was to interject him with Gear 6. Because listen, let's be honest. Gears, even though we all love 5, kind of needs something, and I think he would be a guy that would be able to put something in there that flips people out.
I don't know about Gears. I think he needs a new. I think Xbox is starving for a new IP. Give him something new, because I think that's making a new IP. I just watched a documentary on Naughty Dog when they made Last of Us. And they said the hardest thing in the world is making a new IP. It's the most stressful thing in the world.
It takes the most time for sure.
It takes the most, and so that's something that hey, give us a new IP, pitch us a couple of ideas, and let's see if we can get it done. That's what I see. I don't ever see it happening with Cliffy B, but that would be awesome. Something like that would be I think just great for Xbox.
Let me give a few shout outs real quick, and we'll come back to some of this. Sir X-Men talks about an X-Men versus Mortal Kombat spinoff. That would be kind of crazy. And it might have something to do with his name. He might be a big X-Men fan. We've also got Lulu Solid. Shout out to you, buddy, for $50 super chat. He says, as a fan of Halo, I want to see Halo Infinite campaign on 4K 60 FPS and the multiplayer at 120 FPS. Great show, RDX. Great. Not only do I think you're going to see that, Lulu, or what am I saying? Okay,
but
I'm saying Lulu like an idiot. Sorry, Lewis. My bad, Lewis. I think you're gonna get all of that. I think you'll see the campaign at 4K 60 FPS of some kind, and they will have a 120 FPS mode on Halo Infinite. I think they'll try to manage that. I definitely do think they'll try to manage that. He says, best regards from Mexico. Shout out to you, buddy. So again, thanks so much. Halo Infinite. I don't know, man. Some people aren't excited, but I'm excited to. The wait has made me more excited, and the fact that they're utilizing probably one of the most advanced engines of all time in Slipspace, which will only get better looking, right? It'll be interesting because Microsoft. That's the thing. They don't have too many engines that they're custom to their games, their brand, right? They got Forza Tech, and they've got Forza Tech, and now they got Slipspace, right? So if they do some of this kind of custom stuff, then that might help them out a little bit when it comes to maybe inking out a little bit more. And particles is a big emphasis of their gameplay kind of reveal, right? So, and you're right, Cole. We did hit 2,000 watching live, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. We do appreciate it. As we kind of move on past Cliffy B, I mean, unless there's any final thoughts, I mean, it's not that compelling in my opinion. But Cliffy B is Cliffy B, and I guess he'll do what he does. But reminder, we got a Game Pass code we're giving away for 3 months. We'll be giving that away here soon. But Mafia, real quick, they did release Mafia 2 Remastered, which seems like an up-res version of the original, and Mafia 3 Definitive Edition, which I don't really think they didn't even tell you in the trailer what the hell they even did to it. Like, I don't know if they did anything to it, or is it just all the DLC?
I was so disappointed. I saw the church today. I was like, oh my god, look at the it was just awful. It was just awful. The draw distance was awful. A lot of aliasing. I was really expecting more from it, honestly. Like, I don't know, man.
Desperate times, D-Batch. You might see me playing it later.
Yeah, you know what? They're good. They were good games when they came out, and the story is good on it. So I don't want to take anything away from the game itself. Just visually, it just doesn't stand.
Okay,
You're talking about the Mafia 2 and all that?
Mafia 2, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a port. It looks like just ported up to the current consoles.
Mafia 1, they are doing a complete remake, but that doesn't come out for months, right?
August, I think. Yeah.
August. Why in the fuck August? We'll never know. Lewis, by the way, became a channel member. Thank you so much, sir. Do appreciate it, brother. We've also got another one from Flexican. Okay, he says Killer Instinct 2, question mark. That's the thing. We did have Ricari Austin on the show last week and before that, and he acted like there was no Killer Instinct 2 in development. I don't know if he would not tell us the truth about that. I mean, what do you think about that, Tim, when Ricari said that as somebody on the Killer Instinct team, they talk about some of that stuff occasionally, and to his knowledge, there was no KI2. Tim Dog died.
Nope. No, he said that he's been trying to get them to do something, and he hasn't heard anything in the realm of that they even have that in the works.
Flexican also asked about the Gears of War movie. And the last update on that was a year ago. There was supposed to be a movie, and there was supposed to be a Halo movie as well a long time ago.
I don't know. I can't play those. I don't care. Hey, Nightwolf has a super chat. He says, "You want to see next gen? Tell Madden finally to change their engine to what it looks like an actual player on the field. That'll blow some minds."
Maybe. Shit. Doom Eternal looks better than most shit we've seen. It's kind of crazy. Lethal, if you want, man, get ready to drop that 3-month Game Pass code. We'll go ahead and just drop that for the people watching us. Do appreciate it, brother. Say what?
Let me get my bots. Hold on.
Don't drop it yet, because we got.
He is so hungry for a free game.
We got some good stuff. Just kind of arm it, arm the nuke. We've also got Minecraft, by the way, sells 200 million copies of Mojang now, known as Mojang Studios. D-Batch, should this mean that maybe the studios with an S, are they going to be making more spin-off games? Are they going to be higher in there, you think?
I have no idea.
All right, D-Batch has no idea. He said, I have no idea. So quietly the mic didn't even pick him up. So I got a half asleep D-Batch. I got a Tim Dog that disappeared. I got a always enthusiastic intro.
I'm still here.
Jocker and I still here. Jocker and I gonna sing a song for you.
Hey Tim, are you there?
With arms wide.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Tim, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, somebody just said Colt sounds irritated. I'm actually not irritated at all.
He always sounds that way.
Yeah.
He's mad because Xbox has no games.
Talk about Banjo will irritate.
Yeah, talk about Banjo and I'll get super irritated. That'll actually be the real super irritated.
That's understandable though. Tim, Mojang Studios, do you know of any kind of extra spin-offs and stuff that they might be working on? Some extra things they're working on? They got more teams? What's going on?
Is that because did somebody ask me that in the chat?
No, I'm asking you that. Like they sold 200 million copies of Minecraft. By the way, that means it's better than all the PS4 exclusives according to their own logic. And I don't agree with that, but that's their logic.
They obviously have the Minecraft dungeons, which, to what I'm hearing, that's gonna be a big freaking game.
You think so?
So now, yeah, I'm hearing that people think it's gonna be high hopes. They think it's gonna sell a lot. So now, if you have that, and
I'm playing the hell out of that game.
are you enjoying it?
Bleeding Edge.
Are you enjoying it?
No, I said I'm gonna play the hell out of that game.
Oh,
You're talking about
Dungeons. Yeah, no,
Minecraft Dungeons. Yeah, me and my
Zucker.
friends already got it pre-downloaded.
You and me.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they use Mojang with some exclusive stuff. I don't think that just because Minecraft has always been multi-plat, if they do something new in the Minecraft universe, I do think that possibly they might look into a little bit of exclusivity, console exclusivity. I think that's being looked at because obviously you have something like that. If they can do something else and make that exclusive to the platform, you're going to bring in people.
Did you watch their little
Hey,
trailer
real quick,
for their?
Let me say this. I want you to ask him, but Keith J said you didn't read my super chat. Sorry, buddy. It disappeared in the chat. The chat does not stay forever. I can't scroll it forever, so please just put it in the chat and I'll read it off, buddy. Do appreciate it. Go ahead, Colt.
Did you guys see the Mojang trailer for their? I don't know what you call it. Their like promotion for their Mojang studio. Did you guys watch that at all?
Sure didn't.
So it's pretty impressive. It's very, very, very Nintendo-like. You should check it out.
Yay.
It's
Are they making more games, like another game that an announced game. Mojang is.
I don't like. Tim was just saying they may be looking at making an exclusive game outside from Mojang, but I'm under the impression that Mojang's always going to make multi-platform stuff and just make a bunch of money for Xbox. So I don't know, but you should go check out their little trailer. It's very Nintendo Labo and Nintendo Switch style.
So it's cardboard and no one gives a shit style. Cool.
Well, I don't know. You just have to see it. It's interesting. They must have like a whole different idea of what they're going to do as far as making games. I got to play the Minecraft Dungeons beta, which lets you play through 3 full levels and replay them as it levels up. And yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's something that most people would like run to the rooftops about, but if you have a kid or a friend that likes that type, that's like kind of something you shouldn't miss out on.
Mr.
I was playing
Glass
it
says, I
last
can't
time.
wait for Flight Simulator.
Well, I mean, I remember just to preface this, I think the reason why I was a little taken back from that you asking me was I had wrote a tweet and I had mentioned something about Mojang, but you had a video about 2 years ago and you talked about how they had 600 devs that they had hired. From what I'm hearing, and I mean, you could just even look at LinkedIn and some.
You're
of the
talking about
things
me with the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you're looking at that, they are really pushing out Xbox Studios even further than what I think that they originally had in sight. Like In Exile is going to be triple A. There's been a ton of hiring, and since even that time when you made that video, they have actively been adding to all these studios. And the reason why they don't, from what I can gather, the reason why they don't broadcast this and they keep quiet about it is simply for the reason if you say, hey, look at this. Look at Playground, how many they hired. Look at how much money we put into In Exile, and then you're another studio within Game Studios. You might take umbrage with that, or you might get upset, or you might say, "Hey, why are we getting that funding?" But if you have, from what I've hearing, if you have a good idea and you have a good streamline for a good IP, you're going to get backed. And I think if you're looking like just look at In Exile,
like Netflix right now, they're kind of just pumping money into a lot of different
things,
things,
and they're still hiring, and that's the crazy thing.
Didn't Playground Games say that they're over 400 people now?
They're looking to be 400 people. Yeah.
KY Bob, by the way, says great panel full of knowledgeable dudes. Shout out to those behind the curtain. Boss Mod, Lethal Papa doing a great job. Yeah, Lethal's on fire. Definitely. Thank you so much, Lethal, cracking down on some crackheads.
Hi, KY Bob.
Hi, KY Bob.
We have a good time playing State of Decay together.
And it's not something that I'm just putting out there. It's something that's been I've been communicated to me. People see the stuff that I put up. They see the stuff that Clobril puts up. And the narrative here is though, they're probably still looking to buy studios, but the studios that they have. They're really, really building them up. It's not like you're going to be, getting like fillers, like people, they're always saying that Xbox is just going to give you fillers. That's not the case here. You're going to get tech.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a lot of money put behind these
Forza
titles.
Horizon 4 92 a filler, was Gears 5 mid 80 a filler, like
Exactly.
it was Ori a fucking filler. Well, I don't. What is a filler? Like how long?
Right. Well, I just think that the games that people or the shots that or the criticisms, they've heard that, and I think that they're going to come. And I do believe July
Worlds was a
is
filler.
July is their point to make this point.
Is
They're doing this.
Is Xbox Game Studios making more games than Sony Studios? Because I'm trying to think of how many games Sony made in the past 2 years, and I'm not as knowledgeable about all the studios that they actually own. I'll often have to ask random, like, do they make that one, or do they just market it?
Yeah,
They're both at 15. But some of the studios that Sony has, I think they have one that's a VR. One of them, obviously, like the
I think
show.
they closed that VR one down.
Yeah, that was a Cambridge one, but I think that they have one that made Concrete Genie, one that made. I think they're pretty comparable. I just think that Xbox is making multiple games on. Hellblade, take Hellblade for they're making 2 games, or
I think Sony are doing a similar
Live.
thing though too.
Sony's doing kind of the same thing, right?
Guerrilla Games are making
right.
They got 2 teams.
They're expanding to 400.
Same with the team in San Diego. It's basically like Naughty Dog split off. A lot of the people from Naughty Dog went to that San Diego studio, that new one that they started, and nobody knows what they're working on, but they're hiring like crazy too.
I heard about a super secret Sony studio the Naughty Dog people are going to, called The Initiative.
Oh, that's not nice.
That's
dealer. What's wrong with you?
That's faxes.
I like fax machines.
It's going to be such a different generation. Xbox, in comparison, just didn't do anything this generation compared to what they're going to be doing starting right now. It's unbelievable.
They had 5 studios.
Well, we'll see.
And
They fucked things up before, so
we'll see. Just to say that Xbox will never have any games and they're not going to make anything.
They're definitely making
it's
some
really,
stuff.
really crazy, like compared to what they are doing now. Like they
That's
finally
what I
got
say,
up and go, oh, hey, we can invest in this
Cole,
platform.
They're only where they're at, and they're doing so good in terms of how pro-consumer they are, the hardware they're leading in, all that stuff.
Because
in terms
of
because of not only the competition but the feedback, and that's why we've always been very adamant about, hey, fucking ask for more. It's okay. Don't let the people that damage control for fucking likes and their posts. They can say anything positive and pander, and the radicals will love your shit no matter what, and they will hit that like button. But guess what? At the end of the day, they're harming the brand, and we want better. We want to be able to come to you in July and say, holy fuck, they just drop kick Sony in the face. And, as somebody who prefers a brand, you want your team to win. If you like a sports team, you want your team to win. If you like a certain brand, you're like, I'm going to support it, and they need to do as good as the competition or better. And I think that's
and I both have
toxic about it.
Yeah, you and I both have big videos we did last year, talking about the low-rated games that Xbox put out this generation and what they did do well and what they can improve on. And I don't know. It's just some of that stuff has to be said, and we all feel that way. And don't be mad at someone if they. I don't know. I see so much stuff because I'm on social media a lot, and I read a lot of almost all of my comments, and there's just people who just are negative just to be negative, and I just drown that out. And I can't take their opinion seriously. But then there's the people that say, hey, I'm a PlayStation fan, and Xbox is doing some things, but man, they sure, slipped up here and there. And I can listen to someone like that because they sound reasonable.
Yeah. Keith J, by the way, I didn't see you. I maybe didn't tag me, man. I was looking for your comment. You didn't have to super chat again, man. He says, I have an LG C8. Am I still good for next gen? The only thing you're missing out on, man, and I have a B7 and a C9. And image quality is very similar, except for there's more banding on B7, depending on the game. Her Man of Medan is the ultimate test for banding. I will tell you that right now. And the C9 is completely gone. Other than that, you are missing out on HDMI 2.1, basically 4K 120 FPS, stuff like that. Maybe little shit. I mean, honestly, the games are going to look amazing on C8.
What is he getting on his, or what is he have HDMI 2.1 on C8?
No, C9 and up have that, and even the CX don't have the full bandwidth, but you still get the features you need. So again, if you got OLED, man, C8, I got a B7. I could play on that B7 like it's nothing. And I'll choose the 4K 60 FPS better graphics mode over 120 anyway, because 60 is fine for me. But if you need 120 FPS, well, you probably shouldn't be in console gaming. But, you know, you'll get that option more often on something like a C9, obviously, that can bring that to you. So is it worth the money? If you got it to burn, man, go for it. David in the super chat says, love a Halo spinoff with an Oni agent Splinter Cell type game. Wow, what do you think about that, D-Batch? A Halo spinoff, but you're like a recon soldier that throws ninja stars.
ODST.
You know what? Any type of new experience, as long as the gameplay is great and the graphics look good and it looks next gen, you know, I'm all for it. We need new experiences. Like people say all the time, we just
Damn it, I missed another super chat.
just have Gears, we just have Halo. If we reinvent Halo, like a different genre or a different type of, you know, a stealth Halo game, I think it'd do okay. So I'm up for any ideas.
Good idea. Also, Assassin Loop, I do see this one. She says, thank you, Dealer Gaming. Colt, of course, D-Batch, Tim Dog, Zaka, the whole panel for such a great chat and a blast, guys. Also to Lethal, of course, and of course, Obi-Wan, who are the best mods. Thank you so much. And she has the little custom channel member emojis on there. So, yeah, thank you.
Bounty Boom says, hit that like button. Sorry, I can't listen to the show live. Get us to 779.
Nano Polymath says he's cheering for Xbox and RDX. Thank you so much, sir. He's one of the nicest guys in the universe. And then we've got J3 Jigsaw. He says it would be awesome if they acquired Konami. That would be crazy. That would be kind of crazy, but not very realistic. And there was another guy who had said, I missed the super chat, but I don't see it in here, man. Like, and that's the problem with this Google chat is it doesn't stay loaded, and it's very hard to you scroll up and it's just gone. You know what I'm saying? So I can't possibly keep up with everything. Bounty Boom, there's his. And then I'm trying to look for one more. But go ahead, Zucker. What were you going to say?
Yeah.
With the new experiences, I actually think Xbox has done a really good job with like new experiences. I think Gears Tactics is fucking savage. I love Gears Tactics. I think Gears Tactics is a great new experience. It's something that I want to turn into a franchise.
The customization is so good in that game, Zucker.
It's like just customization, gameplay, everything, man. Like that.
I'm just saying, I wish that Gears
awesome
5 had that.
I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah. I think that's the next step for Gears 6. I think they need customization and a little different gameplay mechanics in it. I think they need to change up a couple things. But also, like, to be honest, like Minecraft Dungeons is a completely new experience. Like, I think that game, like, I think it's going to be a lot bigger than people think. I'm looking forward to playing it. So I don't know, man. They're releasing a lot of games, and this is all going on Game Pass. Like, I mean, next week we have a new game coming out, and I'm going to play it. Like, I just don't understand, like, a lot of the people saying, like, oh, that needs to change. Like, I'm actually enjoying what they're doing. Like, I enjoy the platform. I enjoy the games that have come out. I've been surprised, and I don't know. Like, I obviously I want AAA big games like from Fable or something like that.
You've
like
enjoyed a few
different.
of the games, over the generation.
Yeah. Well, I've joined a lot of Xbox's games, like Crackdown 3. I enjoyed. There's a lot of games I enjoyed, but I just
it's been better the past couple of years by far.
But like this year alone, like they're bringing out a lot of games.
Years is the worst part.
No, 2007.
Yeah, like
2017.
2017 all the way up to Gears 5 is fucking a desert with skulls and shit.
2018, 2019 were a lot better than 2017 was, and and I didn't like. I mean, 2016 had Forza Horizon 3, my favorite game.
2016 up to 2016, they were doing a pretty goddamn good job. Lewis, by the way, Moon Studios apparently working on a new IP or something after Ori 2.
Yeah, Studio. I mean, who knows what they're doing?
I mean, we do kind of. So
okay.
Moon Studios working. They're not working on Ori 3 right now, to my knowledge. Tim, you have something to say on that at all?
No, it's true, and that's all I'm going to say.
I love it.
Tim looked over his shoulder.
He's
Phil
like,
Spencer sitting there with
a silencer
up
against his temple. What? You got something to say, huh? Mr. Nasty Dingle.
Because I'm nasty.
He said, because I'm nasty. He says the LG B9 also offers 4K 120. B9 and C9 do. So that's cool. So our 1440, 4K 120. So yeah. Anything with the 9 after the letter, you should be good for the 4K 120.
I still don't understand that convection. I'm still asking you, what's the C and what's the B and what's the 9? And you're like, just hit the button.
Hey, shout out to Noob Nukem as well. Check him out after the show. And then we've also got Element of PO. He says, did you guys catch the Plan 8 trailer for next gen Division-style sci-fi MMORPG from the creator of Counter-Strike. No, I did not. I have not seen
send
it.
me that.
What is that?
Send Zucker that. Is it on PC? Snake Eyes says, shout out the
100%.
dealer, the panel,
Gamer, bitch.
and the RDX community. Xbox game for life. Yeah, true fans only here. Thank you so much, Snake Eyes. Do appreciate it, brother. So let me get back to the damn topics here. I'm derailed here answering so many damn questions and stuff. Thank you guys for showing up. Everyone here, hit the like button, share it out, help us out a little bit. Series X games, Colt. We just kind of talked about this conveniently on the same day. Scorn, Medium, and more
The
coming
Ascent.
to only Xbox Series X and next-gen systems. Not that as I said in my last video, not that it's like too graphically demanding. It's that gameplay design prohibits them from running on things like Xbox One S and PS4. What were some of your thoughts and highlights of games like maybe the Median or Scorn, where you're not going to play them on your Xbox One? We've been telling these guys for well over a year that just because, or however long that Matt Booty thing's been going on, right? That just because Xbox say that their first party will support Xbox One S for a year, maybe two, which doesn't mean that third parties, where there is no mandate to make them support old platforms, meaning they can elevate gameplay design while visuals from games like Halo will scale beautifully from your 2013 Xbox One all the way to your 2020 Xbox Series X.
Yes. Wow, you just loaded like 17 questions into one. Hey, Colt, start talking.
I like turtles.
You and I both have no idea what the Medium is doing that is next level. Like, we see that transition of geometry and polygons like ripping apart, which we can assume might not be a pre-baked in or pre-animated
the
thing
instant
happening.
Transition between worlds and realms, maybe.
Yeah, you have like the thing where you're between this and the underworld, and then you've got where the church is ripping apart piece by piece. Maybe that's something they do physically because they're like, hey, this is really cool. We can actually do this in the game instead of having it be a cutscene, and they could just show off. And maybe it doesn't lend to what the game is. Like we talked to Optimus Code about, game design is what is not scalable.
As we always said, yeah.
Yeah, as we've always said. And this is the thing where the Medium decided, hey, we want to do something where we can throw all these tricks that we have up our sleeve into the game, and it's not going to work on the Xbox One. It's not going to work on the
Will Dream Daddy 2 work on the Xbox One?
Yeah, and I mean, does it make Medium a better game than some other game? I don't know. Like, that's the thing. That's the other part. Like, people are like, oh, Colt, you said everything would scale. It's like, well, we have amazing games right now that can work on a JAG core. You know, like,
well, you didn't say every game will scale. You said visuals will scale. You never,
right.
you never said gameplay design would scale.
And also, Matt Booty never really said all games from Xbox Game Studios would be on Xbox One for 2 years or few years, as everyone misquotes him all the time. Like, I think he's just covering his bases, like Ricari explained to us a couple weeks ago, that they say certain things to cover them legally, that maybe Xbox Game Studios has 4 games that'll be cross-generation in the next year. Maybe it's only a year and a half. Maybe it's 4 months into the generation. Maybe it's a full 24 months. I don't know. But Matt Booty's job is to make sure he doesn't paint his teams into a corner and get them into trouble where people are going on a witch hunt. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
right.
going to happen.
They do got a kind of plan, and then they've learned from this. Let me give a shout out to Black Manta real quick. He says, just supporting the channel because the chat is awesome. Thank you, sir. Zucker, what are your thoughts on these next-gen gameplay mechanics that aren't possible today?
So I read a lot of the interviews from the Ascent, from the Medium, and so like Medium was the transitions of worlds, right? Like you could change it instantly. So like an example for me in my head, what I was thinking is like, let's say you're fighting an enemy like you see right now in Doom, then all of a sudden, because like let's say the character is something story driven, boom, you're fighting a different enemy in half a second because you're in a different realm, and then you're going and the environment's completely different. Like they could bring in things like that and assets like that because of the SSD. That's the way I see it, and that's not possible now. Like that's just not because of the hard drive and everything. So I think they need to use that. For the people at Ascent, they said that Xbox was there from extremely early in their development and that they liked their idea and everything. And they're like, yeah, so they funded them. And they're like, here, yeah, just keep going. We're big fans of it. You know, you can make it on this hardware. And they helped them get like a little bit of like exclusive understanding of the Xbox Series X. And that was because of the physics in the game, the destructible environment. And they said, you haven't even seen it. Like the little trailer we showed didn't show a lot of the destructible environment we have. And so all those things are because of the CPU. And I think all the next gen games that they showed are truly next gen, and they can't be done. So that to me is awesome. And it also shows that Xbox is a lot different, man. Like they're seeing a lot of developers from small to big, all that stuff. Unreal Engine, they even said that they're trying to make their Unreal Engine 5 able to make AAA games with like 20, 30, 40 people. Like they want to make it extremely easy for people to make AAA games. The AAA mantra, AA mantra is completely shifting this next generation.
In visuals,
So a lot of these games, are going to be a lot different than what we've seen. And so I'm excited to see what the Ascent has. Medium. Scorn, I don't know. I didn't read anything about that.
Umbilical cord slurper, the game.
Yeah, the fucking, don't even.
That's
So,
a
like-
peanut. That's a peanut.
Oh my
There's some
god!
gameplay of that out there, though. If you search, you
Why
can
do you
actually see
say
some
that?
early gameplay of it, man.
Yes,
Because
there
it is.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that.
Not the
People think
wall.
that it is.
Not the wall dribble, Tim.
Yeah, that's what I
Ah.
heard. The Scorn's been around for a long time, so.
Yeah, a lot of people have been keeping an eye on that for years,
Why do you have to
apparently.
zoom in on that fucking thing? All right. So, Nightmare
Please
Fuel.
don't.
But it's, the umbilical cord though is I have this view. It's only 1080p.
It's like,
1080p. 1080p 30.
hey,
It trips out.
hey, hey, D-Bench, you think these next gen games? I know Scorn had mentioned frame rate is important, and they're absolutely correct. So you can expect higher frame rates in that game, but something like the medium, they haven't really said much about that. Do you think that might be available at the frame rate that we all know that it can be, and there's absolutely no excuse whatsoever for that kind of power bottleneck?
Yeah, because it's only on the next generation stuff, right? So they're going to utilize, all the advantages that they have. They don't have to worry about, the lower spec stuff. So I think they will be 60 frames per second. I think, I want all of the games to be 60 frames per second, or at least have a 60 frames per second mode. I definitely know it's possible with the hardware. It's like that's a no fucking brainer. However, I do think, I'm starting to re-guess things now with this transition. I think in the initial transition, we may see some games for just 30 frames per second. And
So you thought every single thing with your child in the background beat the shit out of you?
Yeah,
You thought every
agrees,
game
he
was going to be
agrees.
60 no matter what? I mean, I
No,
remember
but
we
you know
had
what?
always
I-
talked about how developers, it's ultimately up to them, but there is no
Yes,
bottleneck there.
also too, I think gamers need to stop being so complacent and
Ask for
speak
better.
up and say, you know what, we don't want 30 frames per second next generation. We've had that already. These consoles are capable of 60 frames per second. So deliver us a mode, at least one mode in the game. There's no excuse why every game can't have a 60 frames per second mode. Now, if that target is 1440p, if it's 1800p, if it's dynamic resolution, whatever, just get a 60 frames per second mode in there. I think everybody would be happy with that. They have the option, if you have graphic cores, because some console guys, I'll be honest with you, they, they're just, I don't want to say ignorant, but some of them can be ignorant, and they're like, oh, I don't care if it's 30 frames per second as long as it's smooth, and I can play my games.
I
But
love
30 frames per second
slideshow.
sucks. But at least you can give them that option and give us the real
It's
gamers.
not about that you're not willing to play a 30 FPS game. It's about actually leveraging and getting what you're paying for.
Exactly. But I also, too, I think there's no reason to have 30 frames per second games. Last generation, unfortunately, due to the weak CPUs, those fucking Jaguars were awful. We had no choice but to have 30 frames per second on most of the games. This generation, that's not the case. The CPU is light years ahead of what we've had in these consoles. If you look at the equivalent PC hardware, even if you want to downgrade the fucking GPU to fucking 1070, with that CPU, every game is capable of 60 frames per second. So why can't the consoles have that too?
Well, either way, I guess we will have to see developers, just make it known, guys, in a nice way. Frame rate is important. There's no bottleneck whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's a last gen and current gen crossover. Simply adjust the frame rate based off of the GPU load. There is no CPU bottleneck at 60 FPS. And again, I feel like that's common sense. It's absolutely crazy. So yeah, definitely some exclusive software coming for next gen only hardware. It doesn't necessarily mean that it looks better than anything you've ever seen. It means that there are things done on the gameplay design way that just are not possible today. Sony, by the way, are basically, Sony CEO says that they will have a strong lineup of PS5 games to show pretty soon. And that kind of leads us to the rumored June event, Tim Dog. I mean, if their CEO's talking about a strong lineup of PS5 games soon, which Docker decapitated himself early on, what do you think about that potential rumored June event, and is that going to happen?
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be the date that they originally said or Jeffrey Grubb was teasing. But yeah, they're going to Jim Ryan is going to be officially vice president of Sony, I guess, June 1st. So I think a little bit after that, maybe a week, you're going to see this show that they're talking about. I don't know if they're going to show the price though, but they're going to show. Supposedly, they have a slate of games that are very good. So you're going to get wowed.
Yeah, they're going to show some mind-blowing stuff.
For sure.
Colt, Zalker, D. I mean, any of you guys chime in on this, but I mean, we're expecting to
I
see
hear there's
another
two
Horizon
events.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm hearing
said
there's two events coming. One June, which is going to be focused on hardware, and one in August, the state of play, that's going to be focused
They
on
need
the
an
software.
event sooner than August when it comes to their games.
No, there's going to be two. One in June and one in August.
Yeah, I'm saying
So
they
there's
need
gonna be two.
they need to focus on their games this summer, not fucking August.
That's the thing where people, Jeffrey Grubbs, he talked about it and said, "Oh, it's June 4th," and then now he's like, "It's flexible." So that's what he said. He
Who the
said
fuck
it's
is Jeffrey
flexible now.
Grubb?
He's an insider. He's said some stuff that has been right before.
Yeah, no,
Xbox.
Jeffrey is he
He's not
knows.
like these resetter fucks from.
No,
no.
Jeffrey's.
Stealer.
I mean, they were all so wrong. They all basically Benjamin buttoned themselves out of his existence. So I just don't know how accurate the Jeffrey guy is.
No,
Well,
he's
apparently
good.
he knows his stuff. There's a lot of articles about what he said. I think a lot of it, of the reason why they're very fluid with it, is I think Xbox has more to do with it than people think. I think it's too like I've said it before. I think they're like in a stare down, waiting for someone to call out the price of what their console is going to be.
Western.
Let's stare down.
I'm just saying, like, that's what I think it is, and I think they were going to do a June 4th, and then now they're kind of like, well, maybe we can wait a week or two and wait for Xbox to go first and see what their price is going to be. So I don't know. Go ahead, D.
I
You
think
interrupting,
you're
bitch.
right. I think they're probably gonna have two events. I think they're gonna do something in June. I think we're gonna see something in June. I don't think we're gonna get the price, but I think we're gonna see something in June, and I think we're gonna get something after Microsoft's event. And then they're gonna continue to stare down for the prices. And I think Sony's gonna blink first. I really do think.
D, how much is that PS5? If somebody's like, hey, D, what is it? You got to have the right answer. Come on, what's the right answer?
You got to tell everyone Origins is 60 FPS.
I think Sony wants to, from everything we're hearing behind the scenes and all the components and all the shit that's inside of it, hearing that they want to price it at $500. That's what I'm hearing. To me, it makes sense for it to be $400, but we're hearing that it costs like $450 to fucking put the shit together. They want to take a loss on hardware because let's not forget, yeah, Sony's got, we'll talk about that later, the PS Now services. They got all these other services that they're making money from, but they're not in the same position as Microsoft. So I don't think they're in the same position to take as much as a loss as Microsoft is willing to take. I think they want to price it around 100, and I think they're really waiting to see what Microsoft does. They're going to adjust their pricing around it. I think at $400, I think they're taking a loss if they price it at that. I don't.
They better come in at 4 because that delta is pretty.
That delta is big, but once again, Sony, they got this hold over the PlayStation gamers, and these guys are going crazy over the SSD, and Sony's getting a little cocky now, saying, you know what, I don't care that we haven't showed so much stuff. Don't worry about all that stuff. The sales are going to do the talking. So Sony can be arrogant at times, and you know what? Let's be honest. They won this generation, and the next generation is their generation to lose. And I don't know. It's interesting. I see the Xbox Series X being $500. I don't.
Get ready to get foot stomped!
Oh my gosh!
Imagine being cheaper. I can't.
Jethro is huffing pints on the chat. Says, I remember an Xbox fanboy told me Crackdown 3 was going to put Sony to shame. Who the fuck told you that?
Who said that?
I don't know.
Who said that in your imagination? You little fuck!
Oh my god!
Tim just,
Oh my God.
Tim just perked up a little bit. So,
I'll
we
play
got to
100
that
hours of
that
Crackdown,
2 hour
my
mark.
friends.
I think he's talking about some random guy in on Twitter or something. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
There's crazies everywhere.
Look at this Doom
I'll say
Eternal
this,
footage.
though.
Woo!
Do me
Doom
20.
Eternal.
Doom Eternal, Tim.
No,
dog.
Russia asked, what's the Delta Deeker?
The what?
What's the what?
Sony comes in at $500.
Hey, no Russia.
bro.
Who the fuck told you PS5 was 13 teraflops? Who the fuck told you it was a 9.2 chip? We did.
The SSD is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah,
Toby wants to battle
just
those
kind of
with
pay attention to
Toby.
the goddamn track record, buddy. It's 10% faster. It's up to 10.2 teraflops. It's 10% higher clock than 2 gigahertz. It's the same damn 36 CU chip with more cooling, so they clocked it higher. We were right about that. The only
I
show
said
around that
something
really
about-
was.
I said something about how the PS5 was like, near a 9 teraflop console. I don't know when I referenced that, but I mean, I was told that somebody that was working with hardware people, they said that it was always a 9 teraflop console for a long time. And then they made choices and decisions, and
nowadays
Mark
got
Cerny's
to drain the
things up
power.
his sleeve, and holy crap, like
I mean,
this
these
thing's
guys don't
$400
understand the difference. If you even go from like TF on the AMD side or the NVIDIA side, if you got that kind of teraflop difference and then 100 more gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth plus a faster CPU, they don't know that it's fucking 40 frames per second more depending on the game.
Gerald Dong said, "Tell Microsoft to make games, not teraflops."
They're going to make
I'm going to
both.
help you out. I'm going to give him a 4-second lesson about the industry. There's a hardware team that's making the console, and then there's Xbox Game Studios that are making games. They're two totally separate teams, separately funded and doing their own thing. So, I mean, this information is readily available to you, Dom.
What's his name? Dom?
Geralt Dong. Geralt's Dong.
Geralt Dong. Please ask for both, okay? You should have asked for power. You should have asked for games too, like we did. Ask for both.
Yep.
Yeah.
And both is great.
I like turtles.
What if there's some truth to the rumors out there though that Microsoft wants to strike back and get revenge? Just imagine the PlayStation 5. They blink first.
Price, you mean?
Announced the PlayStation 5 at like 100, let's say 450, whatever. Microsoft announces the Xbox Series X at $399.
And then what's? I mean, we're Lockhart. I mean, 300 don't make no sense.
No, I don't say that's gonna happen. I'm not.
I mean,
saying
there's just
that's gonna
people. I
happen.
mean, again, I don't ever think that's a chance. I don't think they have a reason to. I think the games are playable on more
Microsoft should
devices
come out
than
and
ever.
say
It's like,
Xbox Series X $599, and then Sony comes out and says PS5 $499. Then they go, "Yeah, we were just kidding. We're actually dropping it to $500."
Imagine.
Same thing with the
That would be
Lockhart. I think the Lockhart, they're really gonna wait. My personal opinion, at least what I would do if I was in charge over there, I'd wait to announce the Lockhart. Everybody pretty much knows it exists. There's some darkness.
they have waited.
I
They-
would wait until
they-
Sony announces the PlayStation 5 price. Fucking, I would.
I mean, Sony's
I
not
think-
stupid. Sony has access to developers that have probably worked on the damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that that with the price, Microsoft has wiggle room. I don't think Sony has wiggle room. So that's why I think that there's a big standstill here. That I think there is an outside chance that if Sony comes in high, that Xbox could beat it. But in the end, I think they were going to both reach $499. And to me, if we're being honest, it's a big win for Xbox because if you have that spec at that price, obviously they're taking a hit. We know Xbox is because they have a higher bill of materials supposedly. So I mean that's a big win if it's $499. But I think this is going to go on as long as I think Sony's pretty steadfast, and then I think Microsoft's being a little, they're being a little, they're putting they're drawing the line to this. No, they're drawing their line in the sand. I mean,
KY Bob just napalmed a super chat, like super like white hot super chat.
What did he say?
He said, "I feel like Sony is writing their SSD narrative the way Xbox wrote their cloud compute narrative." How did that work out?
Well, the SSD narrative will actually show you a benefit in game. So,
Yeah.
Gamer by Choice, by the way, says, "I'm hyped for the Series X. Too bad you can't pre-order the thing and get one from Design Labs." That's absolutely a fact. I thought they might incorporate the consoles into Design Labs. Zalker, like, don't that make sense? Get your own colors and customize it, right?
Yeah, that'd be freaking awesome.
But that
I think
might
it'd be
devalue their other custom stuff, right? Like their custom.
Well,
custom
I don't know about
consoles.
the devalue. I don't know about that. I think it's just more because a lot of these custom consoles come out way later. Like a lot of the hardcore already have it. Like the 3 to 4 million people that buy it day one or whatever, it's done. They're not going to get a custom console. But I don't know. I think that would be way too expensive on the manufacturing
Tell
side.
you, if I could have got a red and black Xbox One S, I wouldn't have bought the Gears 4 Xbox One S.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, if honestly, that I never thought about it in the labs. I never thought about that. That'd be fucking sick as fuck. I don't know. I
It's
wouldn't
the
mind that.
best looking console though ever for Xbox.
Yeah. It's one of the few
One of
true
them.
custom consoles they've made this gen.
Yeah,
They need a Halo on day one, Tim Doug.
I hope so. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
It needs to shoot lasers out the top and shoot holes through your roof and stuff.
So it has to have a hologram of Master Chief.
Yeah, and
Well,
him
every Halo
just
launch
snapping
with
Locke's
custom
neck. Get
content.
out of my game. What are you saying, D?
So hasn't every Halo launched with a console pretty much?
I think so. Chat.
No,
Well, this is a new.
Halo didn't launch with 360.
It could
No, I'm
make
just
it like
saying that every Halo
50,000.
has a custom console, and I think he's right.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Talker just
I was like,
scorpion kicked
what?
himself in the back of the head.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what the fuck are we saying?
But anyways, guys, again, that's the show. Yeah, that's a 2-hour show. Guys, thanks for doing what you do. We happen to be out of topics, and we do appreciate you guys showing up, rocking out with us over 2,000 a night. We do appreciate it. Hit that like button, show a friend. Check out the links down below. Hit the subscribe button, the bell icon. There are some pretty cool shirts on sale down here. I never plug this stuff, but if you scroll down on your phone or your PC, or if you can go to the description, there's a link there to check out the merch, cups and other bullshit, and of course some pretty cool shirt designs for Series X. Do appreciate.
Are you
guys.
selling that? Are you selling that wall thing with your logo on it
I
from
don't know.
Scorn?
I might have taken that. No, I'm not selling the Scorn wall attachments.
You were thinking of a real wall thing that was on your
A wall
now
thing.
I'm
What's
curious.
it called?
I don't know. I'm curious to what you were selling that was stuck to a wall
okay,
that
well,
dripped stuff.
You need to crawl out of the gutter, Cold Eastwood, because I'm disturbed right now. Again, shout out to the Doom Eternal footage. It did a phenomenal job tonight. And also, again, the chat, best chat in the universe. And if you want to get your thoughts out there, trying to spend a little more time in the comments to the podcast stuff. Usually we pass out or eat or something, but again, let us know your thoughts as it renders and stuff. And of course, check out my last video. Support these guys on the panel. We'll do some outros. Thanks to all the patrons. Again, Cybernox wins. And hang on, we got the Game Pass code we got to give away. I almost forgot. Lethal, I'm sorry. Lethal, go ahead and drop that. And again, that is a big shout out to someone called SSG Zolg, Z-O-L-G.
Fonz just joined the chat and said,
Yeah.
hashtag no 60 FPS, no sale. I can hear his voice.
Fonzarelli. Oh, man, just come on there.
Hashtag Fonzarelli's not going to play a game for 2 years.
Hashtag Fonzarelli hot tough scene. So Lethal, yeah, if you haven't, go ahead and drop that code for 3 months Game Pass. Shout out to Zolj as well for go ahead and giving that away. We had somebody in the chat last week give away Fallen Order. Shout out to the mods as well and all that stuff too. All the patrons, all the channel members, you guys rock.
Shout out to Girl Dom.
Ooh, I just got a message from a particular hardware team member. Let me go ahead and just do.
Watch me read that real quick.
No, I ain't reading nothing. It's secretive. Let me go ahead and do some outros, guys. Cold Eastwood, man, good show, man. Thanks for doing what you do, and of course, what have you been playing? Where can people find you?
I haven't really been playing anything other than replaying stuff, but I just got that OLED, and a lot of people are asking us about like what TV should we get, or how should I set up my TV, or what do I have is what is adequate, and I bought that TCL like a year ago, not even a year ago.
6
and,
months ago.
You know, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to say, if you want to keep, if you want to future-proof yourself a generation, make sure you save up the money if you want to buy the TV. But I mean, if you have a great HDR TV that runs, 60 hertz, you're going to see great stuff.
The biggest leap is going to be like the graphics, not just the frame rates or the 120.
Yeah, or some of the, the HDMI 2.1 things. Like this is just, elevating it just a little bit. Like we have a lot to look forward to. So I'm glad I did that. I've got a lot of work. I'll get it all set up and I'll send some pictures. But just thanks to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Fonz wasn't here. We miss Fonz. We like having him here. And
He's all right.
Yeah, he's okay. But yeah, you can find me at Cold Eastwood on YouTube and Twitter and Xbox Live and PlayStation and Instagram. And what I'm missing one, dealer. Which one am I missing?
Well,
TikTok.
Lethal just dropped the Game Pass code, by the way. So check that out. First come, first serve. Press X to be bored. So, hey, D-Batch, where can we find you, buddy? And what have you been playing?
Dealer.
You can find me on Twitter, of course, D_Batch, at YouTube at DEEBTCH Batch. I haven't really been playing anything. I've been building a lot of PCs lately. I don't know. Everyone's just getting used to staying home, and I've just had a lot of orders for PC, so I've kind of been focusing on that. It's been really shitty. So, but today I got out and flew my drone. Tonight I'll probably get back on Call of Duty.
How many cats have you chased with that thing?
He's out there with a little
Hey, you
hat
know
with a
what, man?
propeller
When
on
I'm
it.
flying that
flying
thing, I
drone.
gotta watch out for the vultures. Sometimes not the vultures, the crows. Sometimes they see it and they like fucking circle or the little fucking hawks try to go at it. So it's pretty fun. But
But
still
Eagle
want
rips
to
the
say
drone in half.
this weekend, stay to my Twitter. I have at least, I think it's at least 5 copies of the Handsome Jack collection. So I'll be giving those out over my Twitter. So yeah, look out for that.
What'd you do? You find them all on the ground like these people find 20 ATIs or what?
You know what? I had a shitload of codes. I was doing some cleaning the other day. I was like, oh shit, I got a bunch of
I
codes.
forgot
should
about
give
this
these out.
pile of Handsome Jack Borderlands codes.
Yeah,
the
so yeah,
hell?
I'll be giving those out. I got a few for you guys if you guys want it. So we.
You got any RDNA 3 around I can have?
Yeah. Well, I'll have the PlayStation 5, so I'll be set.
Oh, yeah, that's
I have the
hybrid.
PlayStation 6, so fuck you.
Actually, I heard the newest rumors that it has RDNA 4.5. Actually,
that's good. I can't wait for the new
Really future.
RDNA 5 update later on next year too. Tim Dog, what have you been
That was
playing,
last
buddy?
week.
Where can people find you, man?
I've been playing Streets of Rage 4. I think I got to jump on co-op with one of you guys because I keep dying and there's
Hit me
there's no continue. I noticed they start you so you can go 5 levels in, and if you die, you die.
It's old school.
Yeah, so it is an old school game. Enjoying it. And other than that, you can find me xCloud Tim Dog on Twitter, also every Tuesday night here at 8 p.m. And tune in, and thanks for everyone coming in. 2,000 people. It's amazing how much people show up, and appreciate it.
Yeah, the best chat in the universe. Zalker, what have you been playing besides nothing, and where can people find you?
I've been playing more games than you, and
Yes,
I've
you're
actually,
right.
you guys can find me on Twitter at Zalker87, YouTube Zalker87. You know, I'm always making content, always having fun, and I've been playing Sea of Thieves. Had a fucking long ass session on Friday. It's great. Gonna probably play that again. There's more content I want to go through. Been playing The Last of Us, which is freaking awesome.
Was Captain Flameheart in the game yet?
Captain Flameheart's been in the game, boy. Why don't you learn?
I don't give a fuck about that game, Zalker. Anyway,
Well, then you know his name, don't you, though, bitch?
because we made fun of it.
No,
What's
it's 'cause
your
you love it.
language, guys?
Why?
Listen, Xbox got games.
This ain't
okay?
no corporate podcast, boy. We can do what we want.
Whatever.
Said a
Yeah.
bad word and stuff.
No, but yeah,
for
I've been
once,
playing
Zalker has
that.
been playing games. Got to give him props.
Yeah, well, you know what are you gonna do? And then I've actually been playing Streets of Rage. So hit me up, Tim, if you want, because I got my ass kicked too. I'll tell you that right now. So
I will.
Game's hard, man. It's fun.
You
though.
guys gonna co-op
yeah, and
up, and your characters each gonna have boots
Yeah.
in your ass cheeks? I mean,
We're gonna co-op and then be Splitsville because we're gonna hate each other. Why are you dying like a bitch? Like hell, they get mad at each
Okay.
other.
You
No, but
fucking suck.
you fucking suck, man. Go get a PlayStation. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, but chat, thanks for being here. Lethal, everybody, you guys, moderators, Obi, you know, Lupa, I saw you. You're awesome. Don't kill me in chat again. Everybody's cool, man. Everybody's great. I'm having a good time and can't wait for the summer to see all these games.
follow. Fawn says follow Zalker on TikTok. I don't play games. Hey, Fawn's little
Sub.
fuck boy. We wish he was here, but
I know. I wish you were here too, Fonz, to talk about how you're not going to buy any games
yeah,
and not make videos.
well, you know,
bitch.
teach their own. You know, he's the opposite of you. All right,
Exactly.
so basically, guys, thanks for tuning up again. Hit the subscribe button, bell icon, merch and crap in the description down below, Patreon, etc. Do appreciate it, guys. And again, 2009, I've been playing Doom, Red Dead, Horizon 4, and we did play some Streets of Rage. That was like last week.
Some Gears
And I'll be
5.
playing, Gears 5 we played, and then you ain't been playing more games than me, bitch. And we'll be playing Mafia 2, which I do have waiting on me as well. So pretty much been beating everything. Just beat Modern Warfare 2. I know Zaka ran through that. That campaign still, it's really good, man.
It's freaking awesome, bro.
I like the newest Modern Warfare the best, but Modern Warfare 2 is definitely better than Modern Warfare 1 when it comes to the campaign, in my opinion, and it does hold up. Absolutely worth $20. So again, guys, let us know your thoughts after the fact. Check out the last video. Support these guys. Hit that like button and you know, make yourself some food. Stay healthy. You know, stay inside.
All the people saying they're going to sink me in Sea of Thieves. You're going to root for. You're in for some bullshit. You can get your ass whooped.
Yeah,
out
he ain't
there,
even gonna
boys.
be there. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you guys out.
But again, guys, we are out. Thank you.
Later, everybody.
Zalka's a fraud.